Experts since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
Rev up for a ride that truly matters. Join the Princess Auto Ride for Dad Edmonton, where hundreds of motorcycles fire up and roll out together in one unforgettable moment. Enjoy a scenic route, great food, amazing prizes, fundraising awards, and a whole community riding shoulder to shoulder. Collect pledges to support prostate cancer research and awareness of the fight against prostate cancer. Come on, ride proud. Difference.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Castellanos turns. It is gone. Line drive home run for Schwarber, and the Phillies strike first.
On Sports 1440.
Scores that. Nice touch off by Stone. Backhand score! Tomas Hertl gives Vegas the lead for the first time tonight.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Tries to split the gap in left center. Bader won't get there. It's off the wall. Corbin might be thinking three here. And he's off and running. Corbin Carroll's got the triple. It bounces up the line. Here he comes. He's going to go all the way around.
Well, a fantastic Tuesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Maybe you're listening later on in the podcast. We appreciate however you consume the show and make us part of your afternoon. We are very happy to be here. Hope you're happy wherever you're at. Of course, lots going on in the sporting world. We're a day close to the World Cup. Should be a lot of fun. You got Lotto Max tonight. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. $15 million up for grabs and 15 prizes of $100,000. Nothing wrong with that. You can make either one at PlayAlberta.ca. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. That is the text line. If you ever want to get in, you can call us. Same number. Either one's good. Take it. It's great. We have lots of text to get to. We got lots on the program today to discuss. Of course, I'm Jason Gregor. Connor Halley's here. Donovan Paulson is along for the ride. Kevin Woodley is going to join us the first hour. Same with Paul Sir. We'll get Terry Ryan, Dave McCarthy in hour number 2, Andy Strickland. Lots of rumors about the Blues. So let's dig into that a little bit today. Colton Parayko, Jordan Kyrou, Robert Thomas. Their names are all out there. How many of them are realistically going to get moved? Some stats of the day. I've been digging in on a few of them that might make you go, what the? So that should be good. We also will be well, we still got a lot of text from yesterday that we didn't get to, so we'll probably touch on some of those in regarding Darnell Nurse, etc. Last night in the NHL, the Carolina Hurricanes do what they do in overtime, win. They're 5-0 in the playoffs this year in OT. Only the Ducks and Panthers of 2003 and 2023 were better. They went 7-0 in OT. Funny enough, both teams lost in the Stanley Cup final. Carolina would probably take an overtime loss if it meant they can win the cup. But they're 6 wins away from the Stanley Cup. Meanwhile, tonight, Vegas, 1 win away from moving on to the Stanley Cup final for the 3rd time in 9 years since they've entered the NHL. It's been a pretty successful run for the Golden Knights. Colorado on the road needs a win. History's not looking good, but there's a chance. 4 other teams in NHL history have managed to come back when trailing 3-0. So is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No, but it is possible. This is the 218th series in NHL history where a team has trailed 3-0. Teams to come back: the 1942 Maple Leafs, the 1975 Islanders, the 2010 Flyers, and the 2014 LA Kings. So considering that it happened once in 42, then it didn't happen again for 33 years, then it didn't happen again for 35 years, but then it was 4 years. Now this would be year 12 since the last time a team has come back from an 0-4 deficit. The Kings did win the cup. The Flyers lost in the Stanley Cup final the year for them. And the Maple Leafs also won the cup. The 75 Islanders did not. That was the year the Philadelphia Flyers were victorious with the Stanley Cup. So we got a lot to get to today. Few things to look at first. I learned something. I always like learning new things, and sometimes you learn something that's not like overly useful for your life. I just find it surprising. That's all. There's things that surprise me in life because I don't like. Sometimes you just don't know the cost of things. And so I was out for lunch today with Mark and Sergey from All Star Construction. And I got talking, and Sergey was telling me about he went on a moose hunt, and up in Yukon, and I've seen videos like there's a big ass moose, man. Like it's different levels. Oh, we were talking about he got invited up to this thing and whatever, and so there's a guide and everything like that. And so I asked Connor Halley, what do you think the cost is right now this year to go on a moose hunt in the Yukon? Keep in mind, there's limited tags. Okay, it's not just anybody can go. Curious what you think the cost would be to go on a moose hunt. Now, it's 10 days, just to give you maybe an estimate. So send me your guesses. Just curious what you think for the moose hunt in the Yukon or Northwest Territories. It's basically the same price for either one. So we'll get to that in a second. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Other news, how about the New York freaking Knicks? Just quietly. The Knicks have won 11 in a row in the playoffs. They're into the NBA final for the first time since 1999. Now, Cons, I don't know. I wasn't listening to New York radio stations, but if they weren't playing Prince 1999 today on the Knicks radio station, that's a fail, man. That should be the new theme song. You kidding me? They haven't been to the final since 1999. You want to party like it's 1999? It's right in the lyrics. Here's your opportunity. You've been waiting for it. It's on a platter for the New York Knicks. Now, no offense to the Knicks, but I don't view the teams they beat. And hey, you know what? You can only beat the teams that are in front of you. So give them credit. But they've won 11 in a row since losing game 2 to the Atlanta Hawks. They beat the Hawks 3 times. They beat the 76ers 4 times. They beat the Cavaliers 4 times in a row. And in lots of those cases, blowouts. Like last night, they won by 37 points, 130-93. They've had other wins where they won 126-97, 140-89, 137-98, 144-114. Like they've had a lot of blowout wins here. So no doubt they've been really good. Brunson's great. They got a good team. OG Anunoby, hell of a defender. If you get him out, if you don't want to defend him, he'll shoot the 3. They got a pretty good team. But I still think they're going to be a pretty big underdog against the Spurs or the Thunder. I'm just like, are the Knicks really that good? Or is just the rest of the East that bad? I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. But still, I don't care. You're in the playoffs and you win 11 in a row. And how dominant. This is the most dominant stretch in NBA history. Regular season or playoffs. A team that has won 11 in a row. And they've outscored their opponents by 262 points in 11 games. 262 points in 11 games. That's pretty damn good. Right? You know, you do the math on that. It's like 24 points a game. It's pretty impressive. I will say pretty impressive by them. So
Gregor, in elimination games, did you see the margin of victory?
Yeah.
51, 30, 37. That's how, like, when it's time to put up, they do. The second longest postseason winning streak, only 2, the Golden State Warriors in 2017. Now, hopefully it's not like the 1999 finals for them, where they fell to the San Antonio Spurs in 5. But it's been a heck of a run. They're playing some good ball. And I like you. I kind of have the questions, though. You know, are they that good? Is it the competition? We're going to find out in a few days here.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. I like, hey, when you win that many games in a row, you're good. Like, regardless of what happens in the final, it's still pretty damn good. So we'll see. Also, if Jenny Malkin, we mentioned this yesterday. I didn't think there'd be any chance he's not staying in Pittsburgh, and he has signed a deal to remain with the Pittsburgh Penguins 1 year at $5.5 million. I think he's on a year-by-year deal. That's where he'll go. And honestly, I think Malkin, you know, I know he put out a tweet. He goes, was there ever any doubt? Like, I don't think he wants to leave. They've won 3 cups. He's not chasing cups, although I'm sure an extra one would be nice. But I'm curious if they're out of the race, because a lot of people thought they'd be out of the race this year, and they weren't. If they're out of it, would he consider being moved at the deadline? Maybe he would. I'm sure they would ask him. He will definitely have a say in it. So we'll see. But we got a lot of guesses here on the Moose Hunt. Many of you are close, right? Few in the 10 to 15K range. A few of you up to 25. 2 of you are at 35K from Gord Oil. Well, Gord Oil, you're the closest. How about $45,000 for a 10-day moose hunt? And that's not even a guarantee you get a moose. Now, they've have a pretty good track record that you get a moose. But if you're a hunter, like, that is, oh my God. I don't know why. And by the way, like, it's not like you get to keep all the meat. They keep a lot of it for the locals, which is great. You know, you get a lot of moose jerky and everything like that. But I was just something cons I learned today that moose hunting will not be something that will be on my, I'm not a big hunter anyway, but 45G, it's got to be something you love if you're doing that. I'll say that. So it's always good to learn little new things that are outside your normal sphere, that what you do. I'm always like, all right, hey, you like it? It's great. Like some people look and say, how much you spend on sporting events, right? Everybody's got their thing that they like. And that's what you do. And the cost is kind of irrelevant if you really like it. So there you have it. Hey, boys, I'm a Knicks fan. Honestly, the Knicks are surprising me how good they've been. I know the teams they played haven't been great, but they've dominated all of them. It's true. Other than game 1 against the Cavaliers for 41 minutes where the Cavs were good and the Knicks looked terrible. But other than that, the 7 minutes and then overtime, they dominated them. 44-11, like dominated them. They've just beaten teams kind of for fun. So it'll be interesting to see. Tonight, a pivotal game 5, Thunder and the Spurs. It's must-watch TV. Like, I don't know. It's 3-0 now. Like, I'll watch it because it's my job, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not riveted to watch Vegas and Colorado tonight. Nathan McKinnon is playing, which doesn't surprise me. Now, we'll know pretty quickly how much speed he's got because when he's on, he can fly. Right? It's funny. Him and McDavid, 2 fastest guys in the league, but they just look very different. McKinnon's like that diesel engine, just powerful, and McDavid is just like smooth and fluid. Both very effective at it. They just look different in how they approach their top speed. But if McKinnon doesn't have his top speed, he's still dangerous. Don't get me wrong. But it'll be curious to see, how impactful it can be. Right now, you're just like, hey, we got to go one game at a time. Just win game 4. Then we go back to Colorado, see what happens. Now, Vegas, their core guys, lots of them who were on the team back in 2023, they've been in this exact position before. The only difference is they're at home for game 4, whereas in 2023, when they were up 3-0, game 4 was in Dallas. But that Vegas team, like you look at who's still on the team from that year. Jack Eichel, Mark Stone, Ivan Barbashev, William Karlsson, Shea Theodore, Brett Howden. Who else I got? Keegan Kolazar, Braden McNabb. Like, they got a lot of guys. Pavel Dorofeyev played in the regular season that year, didn't play in the playoffs for them, but they've got a lot of the guys similar. So I'm sure they'll have the conversation. Let's not let this stretch out a few extra games. Rest can be our biggest advantage because right now the East is going to go at least 5 games with Carolina up 2-1. So, Konza, who just scored? Are you watching that game, Canada? Who just scored?
Crosby or Celebrini? We had our eyes up there. Celebrini from Crosby.
Okay.
Donovan said it was gross.
Gross.
In a good way.
Yeah. In a good way.
Big goal to tie it to.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's kind of a nothing game for Canada because they've clinched first place. But, it's a fairly big game for Slovakia because if they lose in regulation and Sweden wins, they're out. So it's a pretty big game for them.
Yeah, Czechia.
Sorry, not Slovakia.
Who's been up and down in this tournament.
Yes.
Like, good, bad. You never really know what you're going to get. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to this one. That was a nice little pass from Sid.
Not bad at all. So we'll take a quick break. Kevin Woodley is going to join us. We're going to talk some goaltending. We're also going to dig into, because a lot of people out there, wow, the Oilers just got to give their young guys a chance. And I'm wondering if Woodley has some sort of numbers that say, okay, like Janssen and Unger in the ECHL last year, really good numbers. So how do you move them up? And what happens in Edmonton to a guy like Matt Tompkins, who's on a 2-year deal? And his contract doesn't allow him to go to the ECHL, in case you're wondering, right? Because he has a 2-way NHL deal, which is NHL and AHL. Other guys can have AHL-only deals that include the ECHL, but there's no 3-way deals anymore. So Matt Tompkins, he can't go down there. So if you believe that they're going to have both of the young guys playing in Bakersfield next year, then they'll have to figure out something for Tompkins. So we'll see what happens there. And you don't usually like to run 2 young guys. They'd rather have them both playing a lot of minutes. So one of them might be in the ECHL for 1 more year. Wouldn't be the first time. Take a quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
May brings more of what you're looking for at Wolf GMC Buick. The selection, never better. The savings up to $12 grand when you combine cash discounts on your new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickup. Up to $1,750 in cash rebates on remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs. Plus 0% financing up to 72 months on most models. And ask about the truck trade-in bonus of up to $1,500 on select new in-stock Sierra 1500s.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Hey, hon. I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-heated memory foam for exceptional comfort. Made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at the Brick, saving you more.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Whether you're refinancing or buying your first home, mortgages are easier with help from a neighbor. At Vision Credit Union, you get face-to-face guidance from local lenders who know the market because, well, they live here too. They'll look at your whole financial picture with practical advice for payments, renewals, refinancing, and what makes sense long-term. Get a more neighborly mortgage. Contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.223, John Tavares has just made it 3-2. 10 minutes to go as Canada could be knocking Czechia out of the tournament with a win. So we'll see what happens. As Sweden did win over Slovakia. So yeah, looking at the standings in Group B. Well, no, Czechia is in automatically, but Slovakia is now, looks like they're out because they're 1 point back of Sweden. So Czechia is either going to finish, if they win or get a point or 2 points, they could finish second, but probably going to finish third. And Norway, how about the Norwegians sitting in second place? So pretty good. You also have that first place battle on the other side going on between the Swiss and the Finns. Both teams perfect 6-0, and they are tied 2-2 late in the third period. Coming up, Kevin Woodley is going to join us. It's the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Also remind you, it's a Kids Sport Week here on the show, and our goal is to get to 100 kids. We're at 83. Really good Monday. Okay, so we need 17 more. It's $25 a month. It's very simple. $25 a month, you can support a kid to get him into sports. Basketball, soccer, gymnastics, fencing. There's 90 different sports they're involved in. Martial arts, anything. Whatever the kids like, it gets them involved, feel part of a team. You'll feel awesome. You can get it. It's $25 a month or a one-time payment of $300. Or now you can sponsor multiple kids if you like. And you get part of our gang. And we send you updates during the year on what's kind of going on. And, of course, you get a tax receipt with it. So let's finish it out. Try to get this done today if we can. All right, we did 83 yesterday. I'm pretty sure we can do 17 today. So 833-401-1440. Just text in your name. And if you want to do one kid, that's great. And I'll pass it on to Kids Sport. They'll reach out to you. It's pretty simple. So there you go. Now let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. We're coming up in a few months. Gene Simmons, live on stage at Silent Ice Center. You can get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. It's an intimate environment. Not a lot of tickets left, so get them in now. Well, you can if you're a big fan of Gene Simmons playing all the classics. Kiss and more coming up later this year at Silent Ice Center. As from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com, Kevin Woodley joins us once again. Woodley, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, Jason. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, this is maybe a tough question, but I know when you crunch all your numbers and different things, because a lot of people in Edmonton are like, hey, you know what, Janssen and Unger, these guys are really good. They got to be ready. Like some people actually thought they should have got looks in the NHL last year. I'm like, maybe pump the brakes on that one a little bit. But I know that the ECHL is good for goalies development because they get to play a lot. And, it's kind of a unstructured environment, so you got to work on some things. But when you look at, is there any numbers that you need to see, or is it all based on environment? And it's not hard to tell if a guy's numbers in the ECHL will translate to him being good at the AHL and then potentially in the future, the NHL?
Honestly, it's so hard to tell without better numbers. Like, how many times have I come on this show and talked to you in the NHL about, using some of the raw statistics, like save percentage even, and comparing a goalie on one team to another team, sometimes even goalies on the same team, and the environment's just totally different. And I'm like, it's apples to oranges. They're not the same thing. Having that baseline of shot quality and an expected save percentage that you can really trust, I think is such a key part of being able to evaluate. And the reality is, I don't have that at the ECHL. I don't even have it at the American Hockey League through Clearsight Analytics. If there's a hole there, it's that it's kind of a catch-22. The reason I trust their numbers and the reason I believe they're so much better is because everything is manually tracked. And so you're not depending on computers and AI and video to do your work for you. but it also means you can't scale it by just slapping a bunch of cameras in different rinks and plugging it into the formula. So they don't have it at the lower levels. I know they've started looking at expanding it for sure, including into college. But in terms of what I have access to right now, it doesn't go down those levels. And so I think it requires more eye test. I think when I talk to guys, and this is interesting because I have talked to more people since, remember you mentioned Sebastian Cossa, obviously a name that's, on the tips of tongues of goalie people around Edmonton for good reason, because it looks like there's questions about what his future looks like in Detroit. And all of the goalies that come through their American League system right now, I was told you got to grain of salt it a little bit just because the environment's really good. The structure in front of them, as much as the American League is a more chaotic league in general, and it can be harder to be a play reader, something we talked about with Ingram, and big bodies that can play a little bit of hit me behind the chaos and just get hit by pucks can have success. I haven't watched enough Grand Rapids to tell you what that looks like, but I've had a lot of people that do say it's a really structured environment, one that's somewhat goalie friendly. And so the numbers are going to skew more favorably to the goaltenders compared to a team that has less of that structure. Doesn't mean that those goalies aren't ready. Doesn't mean that their success at that level can't translate to the pro level. It just means it might not look the same. And judging it based on the numbers just require you just need to have eye tests. And the people that do that eye test tell me it's not a criticism of the goalies in any way, shape, or form, but it's just, hey, understand where these numbers are coming. I think there's a little bit of that. We've talked about Michael DiPietro as well, right? It's not a criticism because look at what he's done. Like AHL Player of the Year, a couple straight Goalie of the Years. But they'll tell you the structure in Providence allows them to post. You could play the same there compared to some other teams and just have better numbers. Yeah. And so judging on numbers alone becomes very difficult. And so it's hard. Like it's hard. And this is where I think, having more voices, more eyes within an organization, but then also the trust that this trumps maybe some of your analytics at times is important.
Yeah, no, that's totally valid. So I was just curious, like you look at kind of the path, there's not many guys that go from the ECHL directly to the NHL, usually sometime in the AHL, and it varies from goalie to goalie and situation, and age plays a factor in it. It seems that, guys 24, 25, it's almost like, okay, the game slows down a little bit. Maybe it's just because they're playing more games finally and you catch up a little bit, whatever the reason is. We see guys hit that number. Like you look at Dobish, right? He turns 25 later on this year, and he's starting to hit his stride.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Dobish and like the physical tools have always been there. And, I know I've talked to you about this already, but, everybody sort of talks about this, his own words, goofy goalie who goes home and watches Game of Thrones. Well, there's a maturity to his approach and his game that if you really get to know him, probably goes beyond the age of 25. And it's been sort of developed and battle tested, that battle, that compete he has in his game through, needing to fight for opportunities earlier in his career, never having anything handed to him. And so you add that to the physical tools. Like you look at him, just size is one thing, but his ability to get long and extend and not just kick a pad, but have a fully explosive movement, pad extended, glove or blocker over top of it. Like there are physical tools there that, just not a lot of guys possess. And some of the other elements, it was their American Hockey League goalie coach that recommended he start working with Pete Fry, the goalie mindset guy that you sort of hear in his comments a lot. If you know Pete and you listen to Jakob, you hear a lot of Pete's work in his commentary. He's talked about working with, the mindset guy. That came from their American Hockey League guy saying, I think this would help you. And interestingly enough, we had Pete on the podcast last week, multiple time guest for us over at Ingle, and he said that at first, he didn't really want to, didn't think he needed it, right? Like there's all these different parts of the formula and every goalie has a different blend. Some of them don't want to do it all. Some of them don't think they need it all. Some of them take till they're later on to realize, I better put some work in on the mental side, training my brain or training my eyes. There are some guys that just get away with physical and they never actually work on their eyes. And then there are the guys like the Braden Holtbys that are like, hey, like my eyes are a muscle too. I better take care of that. And so there's so many different factors, Jason, that go into it. And I guess my pull away would be if you're in an organization, you'd want to know what all the potential factors are. You'd want to know where all the strengths lie for each goaltender and have an idea of where they are on a sliding scale of 1 to 10, like what they do well in all these different little areas. And are there any deficiencies? And are those deficiencies just natural, God-given, will never change? Or are there things we can do to improve it? I don't know where the Oilers rank on this, but like there are teams around the league that one of the first things they do, whether it's drafting a goalie, I'm sure they'd love to do it before they drafted him, but drafting a goalie, signing a goalie, they send them to sports optometrists.
Yeah.
Like to see, because you can have 20/20 vision doesn't mean anything. Convergence, divergence, the way our eyes come together to allow us to see a puck all the way into our body, or converge to be able to quickly scan the zone and see in our peripherals. Depth perception, and then you can train improvement in all those things. I'll give you a personal takeaway. Visual Edge, which is a tool that a lot of NHL goalies are coming to. Bennington used it as a game day warm-up routine. It assesses all these different elements of sort of sports vision and gives you tools to fix them. My daughter, who's just finishing her first year of playing Div 2 volleyball down in the States, tough life for her, University of Hawaii too. So really tough go for her. But I hooked her up with this because she had sort of plateaued with this sports vision training tool. And it quickly identified that she had a depth perception score in like the 38th percentile. Everything else was off the charts. Tested 20/20, didn't need glasses. Everything was great. But when we tested her sports vision, depth perception was low. And so she's been working now in the program to train improvement. If you're not looking for all these little things, you won't find deficiencies and you won't know whether you can improve. And that's just one little takeaway. We're already seeing the results. I mean, she's a libero, so it's all about service return and being able to read off hands, off hits. And much like a goalie, if your depth perception is at all deficient, you're going to struggle with that more than you should be. So it's just one tiny little sliver and an example of all the different rocks or no stone unturned I talk about. You can't rely on the goalies to do it always themselves. You have to have a staff that's looking for some of these deficiencies as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Kevin Woodley from InGoal Magazine and NHL.com joins us. You mentioned Dobish and how well he has played. You look at the Colorado series, and like right now, Carter Hart's just outplayed Wedgwood. I think that's fair.
Carter Hart's been the best goalie in the playoffs since the second round started by the numbers.
Yeah. If you're Colorado, what have you seen in Wedgwood's game that's not there, or is Vegas exploiting something specific on him?
Well, I don't know that it's exploiting something specific on him like that. The two that stand out were from distance, one between like it's the give and take of what he needs to do to succeed. Patience on the edges, right? So you got to hold your feet. And they've had a few come through bodies from long range that have beat him from distance. He's only given up. This is the funny thing. Scott Wedgwood is performing at basically a league average level in the playoffs overall. He's only given up 2 low percentage goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. They just both came in this round. One was the one between his legs off the rush from around the top of the circles that I think came through feet. And that's, again, where your whole game is about holding edges and being patient. Every once in a while, you're going to get one that goes underneath you. It's just the reality of it. And that's one I'm sure he'd like back. The hurdle one, like as he cuts across the middle of the ice as a goalie, the only thing you would look at that, and I've never had this conversation if this is how Wedgwood plays it, but a lot of the guys would talk about letting a player cutting across the middle of the ice get ahead of you as they move across the ice. Because if you're, say I'm moving left and I let him get ahead of me to my left and he shoots that way, I'm already moving in that direction and I've got my momentum and I can push into it. Yeah. Whereas if I get ahead of him, now he's got against the grain back the other way because it's hard. I'm moving to my left. I can't go back to my right. And that hurdle backhand caught him ahead of hurdle, ahead of the puck. And it's a hell of a shot from distance to go against the grain. Maybe the fact it was on his backhand, he didn't think that was possible. But those are the only two sort of low percentage goals. They just come at a really terrible time for the team. I would say that Vegas, as much as everybody is talking about them being this low event team, or they're defending at a really high level, even strength, which is mostly 5-on-5 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but even strength, high danger, expected goals for, Vegas is number 1 in the Stanley Cup playoffs right now. And by a pretty, it's not huge, but on a per game basis, they're almost half a goal better than Colorado and Montreal, right?
Okay.
Like pretty, and more than half a goal better than Carolina. Like they are not creating a ton of quantity, but they're the opposite of Carolina. They're not getting quantity, but they're getting quality. And, I think that comes from having, guys like Thomas Hertl that know that shot coming across the middle of the ice, especially on your back, like it's got no chance unless you go against the grain, right? So I don't know if that's so much a Scott Wedgwood thing that they're targeting. Vegas is just creating high danger chances against any goalie right now.
Yeah. Well, and if you keep creating high danger chances, your odds of scoring are definitely going to increase, no doubt. Kevin Woodley from Ingo Magazine, NHL.com, joins us. You look at that Carolina and Montreal series, and Montreal's not getting a lot of shots, Kev, but like they only had 12 shots on goal the last game, but they had like 7 shots in the slot. They're still getting a decent amount of chances, like high danger comparatively, right? Like I know their shot volume isn't close to Carolina. So where do you come out on quality and quantity?
Well, I you know me, Jason, like I want quality. And I do think that you have to account for things like traffic and like quality doesn't always have to be backdoor tap-ins and things like that.
Yeah.
Like last night's game though, I think the discrepancy was not to the same degree, quality versus quantity, but like Carolina had 13 high danger in that game. Montreal, you're right, they had 6. Now, is this a different conversation if Nick Suzuki converts on a breakaway in overtime against Frederik Andersen? Like you saw, he had his spot over the blocker, low blocker over the pad. Like he had his spot and he just missed. Like I'm hearing people quite like all over the place because of the shot discrepancy talk about a reverse sweep for Carolina. And like I'm a little surprised. Maybe I'm missing something. I get the shot disparity, but because of Dobish largely, like Montreal's in this. And I thought Carolina might struggle to beat Jakub Dobish just because they don't have a lot of, like they should, but they don't do a lot of bar down finishing. Like there's a lot of middle of the net stuff where they just create so much quality that they beat you with a quantity of quality, if that makes sense. They can do both. They've gotten better at both. I thought they'd struggle to beat Dobish, and to a certain extent they have. They're just not being quite as opportunistic on theirs. Like they convert 2 of 6 last night, but in the biggest moments on some of the biggest chances, even they do convert one, Caulfield goes offside. Suzuki on the breakaway misses. So like, I'm with you. I don't think there is a pretty wide discrepancy, but they're still getting enough looks and they have enough quality that I'm not quite willing to write this off as done as a lot of other people seem to be just yet.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Montreal they got to bury their chances, right? Like if Suzuki scores in overtime, and they had their chance because it's the one thing, like you're the one who provided me with those stats. And I talked about it on my show last week, 146 breakaways by Carolina, 22 more than the next highest team in the NHL. Like it was wild. As great as they are, that's the one thing that they're weak at. And it just shows that even good teams, everybody has a weakness.
Yeah, and here's the other one too for you. I haven't looked at the total in this series. I've had my eye on and off this series. I haven't been able to watch every minute and every breakaway. But that Suzuki one last night, like I understand, and he had his spot and he just missed it. But all my numbers say, like, if you can get in clear cut, there are obviously different types of breakaways. But if he thought he had a step he could have maintained, everything says deke on Frederik Andersen. By the numbers, by the book.
I remember you saying that.
And they're trying to pick spots. And again, like if you pick your spot, great. But if you make a strong enough move, and stretch him out a little bit early with a fake from there and then start to move, like you can end up tapping it in rather than having to pick that spot is I guess what I would say. But at the end of the day, either one is execution. Whether it's executing on a pre-scout or executing because that pre-scout was low blocker over the pad because he has a tendency to go into a half butterfly, which he did there. And your best players have to execute. It's not just the goalie at the other end. It's about your best players executing on the chances they have.
Kev, as always, buddy, great stuff. We will next week, I think we'll get you. You like homework assignments. So we're going to look at the UFA market a little bit because now by next week, we're into June, buddy. So we can start looking at some potential free agents and Sergei Bobrovsky we might. But who's the guy that I like? And I know you always have your high ones, but Danil Tarasov, man. If he gets to free agency, kind of a fan of his.
Yeah, hey, listen, I said this about Brandon Bussey with Carolina last year. If Florida is interested, it should automatically raise your eyebrows, and they like Daniel Tarasov. So I've got lots to say about him. I will dig into some numbers for you. I will leave you with this, though.
Okay.
None of it matters if they don't improve how they defend. I know.
The order. We're talking.
I know I've said it before, but none of it matters unless they figure out how to defend. And Carolina and Vegas, even though Carolina does it with pressure, but you look at Vegas and the way they're sort of packing the house right now and blocking shots and all those things. Like, there's a buy-in from top to bottom on that team. And it was there a couple of years ago for the Oilers. It was there a little bit last year for the Oilers. It was gone for most of this season. That has to come back. Otherwise, it will not matter who you put behind them.
Yeah. The thing is, the Oilers have shown in the past that they can defend. To me, it's not can they do it. Will they do it consistently? I know they can do it because they've done it. So will they do it consistently? That's going to be the
absolutely. And the other one we're going to kick around soon, my friend. I have been digging into departments around the league and goalie voices and who can do what and some of the different structures. So maybe we'll save that for a couple of weeks, but it doesn't necessarily require a director. It just requires a commitment to a structure top to bottom and somebody at the top of it outside of the goalie department that's willing to listen to that at least as much, if not more, or apply it not just to the eye test, but to the analytics. I had one director that quit a team, actually walked away from a goalie director job because the team constantly deferred to analytics and not his eye test, and chose one over the other and didn't have much success doing it. So some interesting food for thought that we can kick around when we get into decision-making. And I think some of it, frankly, applies to the Oilers and their decisions, not just under this regime, but even the one before it.
Yeah. Kev, great stuff, buddies. Always appreciate your time.
Thanks.
There you go. That's Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine and NHL.com. Quick break. We will return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Paul Sir will join us as baby. It's down to a best of three, man. We'll talk some hoops, NBA, locally, and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for two. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Jason Gregor isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over 3 million raised for local charities. And his Gregor Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Gregor weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, That's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 5-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
The Edmonton Riverhawks return Friday. Join the best party in the River Valley with 27 theme nights like Paws in the Park, Star Wars, and Margaritaville. Don't miss opening weekend. Tickets start at $21 at tickets@gohawks.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
$250. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You can also watch it YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. There you go. Brought to you by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province of playalberta.ca. Brian's in at sponsoring a kid. So now we're down. We got 16 left. Okay. We want to get to 100. Okay. That's our goal. So need 16 more. It's a kid sport week where they're trying to get as many kids as they can on the field. So our goal was to help out by getting 100. Okay. So we're at 84. Really good day yesterday. So let's get there before the end of the week. Ideally, we'd like to just finish it today and move on. So if it's very simple. It's a one-time payment of $300. You get a tax receipt, or it's $25 a month. Have it on your Visa. Probably don't even miss it. You get kids playing soccer and basketball and fencing and hockey, and who knows where it goes. It's more importantly, it's not about playing professional or anything. It's just about getting the opportunity to be included, play some sports, have some fun, and enjoy life a little bit better. So if you can help out, be very much appreciated. Any companies out there, not take $25 a month. Come on, it's not going to impact most of you at all. So 833-401-1440. Just text in with your name and how many kids you want to help, and there you go. Get Kid Sport to reach out to you. As we now get to our NBA report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy. At legacyheating.ca is the host of Hoop City, former professional player and coach in Europe, Paul Sir, joins us. Paul, how you doing, my man?
Doing great. Two quick things. The cause that you have of getting kids to play for Kids Sport, Jason, not a better organization around, with a pure intention, doing exactly as you described, getting kids to play, not play professionally, just play. And then kudos to Kevin and his talk to you in a couple of weeks about the battle between scouts and the eye test and the dreaded pocket pen basement dwelling analytics guys that dominate sports today, that are making, in my opinion, so many and maybe too many decisions in terms of personnel and team makeup across the gamut of sports.
So let's look at basketball. And I know that, they've, it's changed a lot of how they, coach and what to look for. And, you look at the New York Knicks, Paul, they've won 11 in a row. This is the most dominant stretch in NBA history, regular season or playoffs, to win 11 games in a row. And those were 11 games against playoff teams. So regardless of how good you think they are or not, they've outscored them by 262 points in 11 games. Like, it's freakishly good. How good are the Knicks?
They're really good. Always, what I think everybody is assuming is, though, yes, they're good, but they're in a weaker Eastern Conference. Wait till they play the West. Then it's all going to be different. It's going to be so much harder. Yeah, it's going to be so much harder. But I don't think it is at all inconceivable that when it comes time to hoist the NCAA or not NCAA, NBA championship trophy, New York's going to be in the thick of it, battling for it. They could get handled, but my God, what a run. And you have to give them credit where credit is due. They've done it. They've done it in a historic way. And now whoever they play against are going to be very well rested. And the other team's going to be pretty beat up, even if it only goes 6. So Knicks are good. And Jalen Brunson's great. And everybody else is built around him. Mike Brown has done a phenomenal job of I think taking the shackles off that I think Thibodeau was known to have on his teams, of being so restrictive and specific, overplaying his starters. Brown's done it completely differently, and the Knicks are all the better for it.
Yeah, well, you know what? OG Anunoby is very good offensively, really good defensively. Karl Anthony Towns seems to have fit in. That trade has worked out very well for the Knicks. Now they're going to get some rest. Do you think they match up better against the Spurs or the Thunder?
Well, nobody matches up well against Wemby if he's healthy. So, but I think that's a great question. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm not sure there's an advantage or a disadvantage to either team, because they both have such distinct strengths that whatever New York throws at them, they're going to have to, play against somebody that they haven't faced at that level up to this point in the playoffs. And there's one key level, and I think we saw that exemplified in last night's travesty of a series finale. You don't have to coach effort with either San Antonio or OKC. Whatever it was in Cleveland, the lack of effort after game 1 was just really inappropriate, unbecoming of an NBA team that's vying for a trip to the NBA Finals. Cavs kind of just threw their arms up and didn't go that hard. So I'm not sure who they match up against better, Jason. They're just going to have really difficult matchups when they get to play either OKC or San Antonio in the finals.
Yeah. I'm just kind of curious when I look at the matchups. And now we're down to a best of 3. Each team has had times where they've dominated. The Spurs really limited OKC. OKC didn't shoot very well last game. I thought the Spurs defended them, though, quite well at the same time. So what happened in the previous game doesn't seem to carry over that much from game to game in this series. So if you look at the Thunder, how concerned, I do think that injuries in pro sports, when you get to this level, you're without your second best player, it's got to be a little bit of a problem.
It is. And I think we saw that in the last game, because the San Antonio Spurs reconfiguring their defense, they went away from what I would call some gimmicks, trying to throw double teams at SGA, trying to use various zone looks. They tried to mix it up. Understandable, but game 1 it worked. Games 2 and 3 it did not work. Game 4 they came out and they pretty much went man-to-man defense, played SGA straight up, didn't help out as aggressively as they did in the previous games, didn't leave shooters like Caruso and McLean and the other Jay Williams open the way they did in the first 3 games. In other words, they made SGA have to get his offense generated on his own, going one-on-one. And in game 4, it worked. So, I think what we're going to see tonight certainly is an energized, hyped up OKC team. And as you correctly point out, game to game, it doesn't seem to carry over. You're not going to say, oh, San Antonio is going to shut them down again. That's not going to happen. But the one thing I think San Antonio has established, though, is they've taken away the fear that they had of SGA and saying, we're going to do everything we can to stop that one player.
Yeah.
Because we believe we can guard that way, especially and exclusively when you have Wemby on the backside to change shots.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously how he defends impacts some of the shot selection that OKC can do. There's no doubt about it. So if you're OKC and you know that, what's the better way to approach and attack San Antonio so you can get more of the shots that you want?
Well, I think number one, get Wemby into more screen and roll actions out front, where he has to follow his player out to defend the screen, especially when they're guarding SGA with the ball. So if you take Wemby away from the basket, we saw that particularly in games 2 and 3, when Wemby was away from the basket, the Thunder had a much greater level of success scoring. If he's able to patrol baseline to baseline, corner to corner, that's tough because he's so quick and long that he can help out even when you feel like you've got a wide open layup. If Wemby's in the vicinity, you don't. So I think taking him away from the basket is really going to be important. Running him through multiple screens, really going to be important for him to not be able to, like I said, just kind of patrol the lane and be available as a shot blocker and a shot changer.
Oh, okay. You look at this series now, and it's the best of 3. And as I mentioned, like there hasn't been much carryover from game to game as far as what's going to happen. So what do you expect, though, in the final 3 games? Because it sure seems like this is going 7.
It sure feels like it. And I think one thing that's going to be interesting to see tonight is you had made something that I didn't address enough before. If Williams, Jay Will, isn't able to play tonight, and if he is able to play, is playing really injured, they need him now. That's been proven. Right now, SGA is being defended more effectively than I think he's ever been in a series before. So that's number one. Injuries will play a factor, and with Wilson out too, those are big losses.
Mm-hmm.
Those are awfully big losses for OKC, and hard to manufacture the kind of offense, particularly Jay Will can generate. But here to me is the key, Jason. Did we see the other night the Spurs having success that will translate into bothering SGA? Because one thing, if you notice the other night, and there's a lot of talk about this, and that is about how much SGA is on the ground during games, how many times he flops. Like there's stats out right now that on average in a game, he's on the floor 17 times. The next closest is Harden at 10 or 11. There's no doubt about it that if you love SGA, he's great at drawing fouls and baiting defenders. If you don't like SGA, he's a flopper, and the officials aren't calling it correctly. So it all depends on your perspective. But what I saw the other night was you didn't see SGA able to get to the floor because what San Antonio did was make him hit shots over their defenders, not with the defender being on his hip, getting to the basket and drawing contact. He wasn't able to draw contact the other night like he had been in the previous games. That's the only part of that defensive strategy, Jason, that I'm curious about whether or not San Antonio is going to be able to be successful in carrying that forward. Okay. Or are the Thunder just going to run everybody guarding SGA off multiple screens all the time? So they're going to be switching all over the place. I think it's going to be a really interesting and great match. And what a fantastic series it's been so far. Just seeing Wemby in his coming out party. It's the drama, the excitement, and the level of play has been just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Paul, great stuff as always, man. We appreciate it. We will chat with you next week. What's coming up on the show this week?
We're going to have Sirhat Sohi. She is the great writer from Edmonton who writes for The Ringer on the WNBA. And we're going to have Sirhat on as well. I'm going to have the Dunkley family on. Ryan Dunkley and his 3 kids who all play post-secondary well, 2 play post-secondary and 1 still playing for Ross Shep High School. And Ryan was a phenomenal player at the U of A and coach at Grant McEwen. Now he's at Ross Shep. But there's a real basketball family, and we're going to have that'll be our deep dive this weekend. And we got a couple of other surprise guests we're working on.
Awesome. Okay, we'll be tuning in Saturday at 10 a.m. Appreciate your time.
Likewise. Thanks so much, Jason.
There's Paul Sir, host of Hoop City. Listen to it Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. here on Sports 1440. Quick break. When we return, Terry Ryan will join us. Got Dave McCarthy, Andy Strickland, some stats of the day, 5 questions. So a busy next few hours on the show. Little trade rumors for you. A little update on the coaching search for the Edmonton Oilers. There's still someone who I think hasn't got talked about a lot, who I still think is, if he's not the favorite, he's right there. So we'll get into that after Connor Halley in a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Visit hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 4 of the Western Conference Final goes tonight from Vegas as the Knights can complete the sweep with a victory over the Avs. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock at the World Championship. Canada coming back to beat Czechia 3-2. They also had Latvia over Hungary 8-1. The States gets Fest Austria 4-1, and Sweden doubled up Slovakia 4-2. Memorial Cup this evening. The Rangers 2-0, taking on Chicoutimi. That one gets going just after 6 o'clock in the association. Spurs and Thunder from OKC. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball Blue Jays taking on the Marlins once again. First pitch, 5:07. We'll have that one for you here on our AM dial immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up in hour 2, we've got Terry Ryan, former NHLer, also Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM NHL, and we'll ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrobacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep.
Appreciate your time.
And
likewise.
Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say 10 minutes to go.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf
Connor Halley, Sports 4.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more, like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream, all swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The sun's out, the pavement's warm, and that low rumble of a Harley rolling by? Oh yeah, that's calling your name. This is riding season, and if you've been thinking about a new ride, Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has the one that'll get your heart pumping. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, there's one waiting for you. Whether you're upgrading or just getting started. And while you're there, ask about test rides, because the only way to know is to ride it. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980, or at hdedmonton.com.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pair Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. It's Taco Tuesday at OTR with $3 tacos from 5 to close, entering specials all day long. Go check it out. Jasper Ave 118th or online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Tuesday afternoon, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, lots of places to watch the show, listen to the show. We thank you very much for finding out whichever platform works for you. Majority of you, I know, are still on the lovely radio, which is fantastic. We appreciate it. Always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game, sports, casino, live dealer instance, and more. But remember, if you do play, use your GameSenseAB.ca to ensure you stay within your limits. Of course, tonight in the National Hockey League, only one game, and it could be Goodnight Irene if Colorado loses on the road in Vegas tonight, as the Golden Knights are leading 3-0 in the series. Nathan McKinnon will play tonight for Colorado Avalanche, as we welcome to the show former NHLer, TV star, commercial star, Terry Ryan joins us. TR, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. And before we start, I'm doing all right considering. Give a shout out to Forbes Kennedy. He passed away yesterday. He's a bit of an Atlantic Canadian legend. PEI for sure, but he kind of transcends that into the Atlantic Canadian legend status. Forbes was like late 80s or even 90s. I don't know exactly how old. I just heard the news, but he was coached a lot of my friends in the Maritime Junior League. A very tough player, one of the first to make it from Atlantic Canada, and then headed back to PEI. I think he was born in New Brunswick.
I think he played for the Edmonton Flyers, TR.
Well, he had a story, like he played a long time in the NHL, but I'm guessing 600-700 games in the NHL, but he also played a lot in the minors, so that wouldn't surprise me. Proud Canadian, tough as nails, old school tough, but boys loved playing for him. He was like, he was old school in his attitude, but he wasn't a jerk about it. He was well respected. Anyway, I go over to PEI every summer, and Forby and his family are, that goes back as 10 years old. My first baseball tournament over there, he came to meet me because my dad played, and he knew that. And after that, coached some of my buddies in the Maritime Junior League, like I said. A very important sports figure in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well said. You're the team that drafted you, the Montreal Canadiens. I know you're following that series rather intently. What do you make of the Habs so far? Like, especially the last two games, they're getting outshot a lot. They are getting chances, but they're getting outshot heavily. And Lane Hudson, like I'll tell you, if Evan Bouchard made that turnover, all the national broadcasters would be freaking out on him. Lane Hudson turns it over and it's like, oh, that's an unfortunate turnover. It wasn't lost on me, the difference in how people viewed that giveaway by Lane Hudson compared to an Evan Bouchard one.
First thing I thought of, the very first thing, and we haven't spoken for those listening before this. We didn't plan on saying that. First thing I thought of when he did it, And it's so funny because all that pressure on Montreal, and you always hear it from like Montreal or Toronto, and with Edmonton, it's I mean, you do hear it. I hear it when I'm on the show, but over this way, I'm just telling you what more people follow in the East, what will follow these particular teams. And when something like that happens, for some reason, there's way more leash. And I don't know, because on the year, if you just take that example, like Bouchard, 2 years in a row where he's like, I think he had the most points or close to 95 points or something. Hudson's really good, exceptional, one of the best. But he wasn't that good this year, and he made that play. Now, he's also a very humble guy. I loved his answer. I mean, he didn't lose them the game by one play, but nor does Bouchard, is your point and my point. They're just giving it, and it must be, it must weigh on Hudson a little bit, but if I'm him, I can easily get over that. He's half the reason they're where they are. I would be really worried. You said the shots on net. I mean, it looks. One game, that game, I think they had 9 or 10, and they won, and game 7. Okay, once in a while that happens, but if the more it happens in the same playoff, it's not an anomaly anymore. It's pointing a magnifying glass at your goaltender, saying, "Hey, you guys are overachieving here." Now, no one wants to believe that. I don't want to believe that. The Montreal Canadiens don't want to believe that, nor do I think they're out. The whole year, one of the keys to their identity is coming back, but I'm just saying the way they lost last night, even some of the comments, Martin St. Louis, who I think is awesome. I'm glad, it's an example of somebody that got a chance in sports that, it's not hard to tell that he'd be a decent coach, but someone has to give you a chance. We were talking about that last week. But even there, he seemed a bit defeated. We're down, but we're not out. Yeah, of course you're not out. It's only 2 games to 1. But it seemed that. They're speaking as if it's 3 games to 1. Sometimes it's subconscious. But, or we're trailing, but we're not dead, or whatever it was. We got to make those plays quicker, think faster. That's not really an answer to me. Think faster, like you should be thinking faster. Something in that system is not working. Carolina are absolutely bottling them up. It's like when New Jersey were doing it in the early 2000s or late 90s, I suppose. And I remember that because it was right when I came into pro hockey and everybody was doing it. But Jersey set the trend, but Carolina are faster. It's just they're so efficient at bottling it up. And Montreal, who we've seen, like the first period of the whole of this series was their best it was either Montreal's best or Carolina's worst, but they seem to get 4 or 5 chances immediately. The more I look at that, I think maybe Carolina were a little too revved up and horny for the situation. Maybe they just needed to calm back a bit. But I'm just saying what everybody else sees, because in the 8-period sense, Montreal are really battling just to stay in the game. And I know there's some great chances, yes, and with any luck, if the stupid offsides nonsense rule wasn't there and it wasn't a millimeter offside 4 hours before the play happened, Montreal probably would have won that game. Well, they would have. But, I wouldn't be – there's something has to happen. And I don't know, quicker decisions isn't an answer to me. You got to – now, of course, the other side of that is that the coach isn't going to come out and say, we're going to attack it different and here's the system we're going to play. It just seemed, though, like when I only saw Hudson and St. Louis' interview. That's all I saw, and they both looked like I said, they were answering as if it was 3 games to 1.
Yeah. Terry Ryan Jones, you move out to West Vegas and Colorado, and it's I know it's not officially over, but it's over. Teams don't come back 3-0 very often. Colorado right now, I know Makar was hurt for a few games, so was Stone. McKinnon gets hurt, but McKinnon got hurt after they blew the 3-0 lead. It wasn't like he got hurt and then they blew the 3-0 lead. Like, they come out great in the first period and then just completely did nothing after that. Like, it was wild to see.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm trying to look at that and think, is that how important a healthy Makar is? Is it that? Because Vegas, you could make an argument all year that they underachieved. I think before any of this, and I'm not saying with hindsight that's 2020, I think something was amiss. Like, even at the end of the year going, geez, Vegas, are they really not that good? So that's part of it. They're all clicking and the way momentum goes. But Colorado, I'm surprised that it's 3-0 because I would have been moderately surprised whoever beat them. I just thought maybe, they're not, maybe they're unstoppable. What's the word? I thought that they were the strong favorite. So clearly, even if they come back and win, they're not the strong favorite. And is it that, like you said, people are saying McKinnon's hurt. I don't know if he was. He was hurt when he got that shot near the end of the game and the most recent game. And the thing is, I like as a Canadian watching Nate McKinnon play and hit and power through the zone, and he does so much that's his when he's on and the way he approaches the game. It's mesmerizing. It's like watching McDavid's speed or Bure's agility. Like there's only so many players that you're watching them going in the game that's so robotic nowadays with systematically and everything. And you watch a guy, wow, is he good? But I tell you what's not good. What's not good is when you yell at your players and slam your stick. And I mean, it's peewee stuff, right? And it just doesn't look good. So especially when you're down 3-0. He must know the difference. I get it. Sometimes you're so frustrated, and you just got to think it out, though. It's tough. You got to breathe. You can always improve, and sometimes that improvement is not just in front of the net, one-timers and blocking shots and things like that and practicing. You can practice till you're black and blue, but that's something that has to be improved. You cannot, as captain, do that when all the people on TV, millions of people watching, everybody, all your fans, everybody is watching this game, and clearly – players, you're almost yelling at them. I don't know. It's not a good look. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was yelling at saying, hey boys, it's my fault. Everything's my fault. Didn't seem like that to me. It's just a bad, either way, your captain, you don't let your feelings be shown so much. It's bad. I'd tell a midget B player the same thing. Don't come in and slam the gate. Don't yell at anybody, including the behind you, the coach or the players, or especially not when someone just made a bad play, because we all know what you're saying, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, fair enough. Quick break. We'll come back. Dave McCarthy joins us. Gregor, Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
This summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup,
debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Oh, little Motley Crue. Shout at the devil. That is oh man, that might be my favorite Motley Crue album. Pretty sure if I think back to all of the songs on there. Helter Skelter, Looks That Kill, Too Young to Fall in Love, Bastard. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with that one. In the Beginning. Oh, that's another underrated song. I don't know. TR, were you into the Crew back in your day?
Oh, yeah, I was into everything, anything and everything, man. I was spinning records every single day, at least 10 a day. Seniors got a huge collection, and we would just have carte blanche to do whatever we wanted. And Friday nights, we'd DJ as senior parties. But that was the wheelhouse. I was like 10, 11, 12 years old when Motley Crue were at the peak, right? So those are my core memories. Yeah, that right into Guns N' Roses. And I had all the albums. I really liked them at the time. And, you didn't really think of it as classic rock. And when I moved out to to Tri-Cities to play hockey, that whole grunge movement was happening in the Seattle. So it kind of led into that. So, yeah, those years are real wild to me because I went from Newfoundland across the continent, really, and that was the one thing I had in common with people. It was like Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. Everything else was new after that. There were a few more, but
yeah,
people my age.
Yeah, no. Man, that album brings back great memories, man. I used to listen to that baby all the time, but Shout the Devil. But In the Beginning, underrated song, not very long, but it's great. Bastard was a really good song. Red Hot, and Knock 'em Dead Kid. Oof,
great tune.
It's really good. Let's
phenomenal book too, The Dirt.
Yeah. The movie was not great, but I think the book was better than the movie for sure.
Yes.
Let's get to Around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. You can enjoy McDonald's $5 McValue meals with options like the sausage McMuffin small meal or a McDouble small meal for only $5 plus tax right now at McDonald's. As Dave A. McCarthy from Sirius XM, host of the Sunday Brunch, also Ice Caps during the week on Sirius XM, joins us. Davey, how you doing? Were you a Motley Crue fan, Davey?
No, they were a little bit before my time, honestly, boys. I never really got into Motley Crue, but some West Coast, the great state of Washington, Seattle grunge rock. Yeah, that's good stuff, Terry. A little Nirvana, a little Soundgarden. It smells like Teen Spirit. There you go. That's good material. I like that stuff. But Motley Motley Crue a little bit before my time, unfortunately.
So, like, if we showed up and Dave's driving around, like, what's on your playlist right now?
Oh, that's a good question.
Before you answer, I love you said before your time. You wear fedoras, you still have typewriters, and I guarantee you that you're about to say Frank Sinatra. Now you just talk about something, whatever's in your spin list, I guarantee you're about to say something like that. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Oh my God. That's actually a really good point, Terry, to be honest with you. But to me, Sinatra, that's vintage. Motley Crue hasn't quite got to vintage yet, but honestly, like I like a number of different things. I got a wide, like I'm into, for whatever reason, I found a live version of The Ghost of Tom Joad by Bruce Springsteen with Tom Morello. And I'm just playing the hell out of that right now. I like some deep cut, tragically hip stuff. Like there's a version of this song called Montreal that, as far as I know, they only ever did live once, and I can't find it anywhere else. So Tragically Hip Montreal, you look that up, is really good. I got into that song Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. That was it's a great song. Ordinary, Dalton Varshaw's walk-up song. I'm playing the hell out of that lately. And here's a really good deep cut. The Coup, Tara, I would be impressed if you know this. The Coup, my favorite mutiny. It was the theme song to that LA Lakers documentary that was out maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But it's like kind of rap, like West Coast rap. It's really good stuff. The Coup, my favorite mutiny.
Check it out.
Is that the one that starts like move if you got the nerve?
Yes. Last shot you just.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh,
Let me bring it all back to earth.
Okay, I like it. Yeah,
I love it.
But I like a little rap. So there we go. Awesome. The Montreal Canadiens probably need to increase their shot volume, obviously, but they're still getting good chances. Like that game's 2-2. You go to overtime, and 25 seconds in, you got a breakaway with one of your best players. He just doesn't hit the net. Then you hit the crossbar. When neither one of those count as shots on goal, they're decent chances. So where do you like? I don't know if quantity is that big of a deal here for me because like Dobish has made some good saves for sure, no question. But I do find Montreal, like they'll go 10 minutes and then boom, they create one really good look and score.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I was actually struck by a Mike Matheson quote that I read earlier this morning when I was looking back on the game. He said, we're 2 shots away from being up 3-0 in the series. Quite honestly, he's right. If they had won in overtime the other night, and if Nick Suzuki shoots that in the net, they're up 3-0. And so I think there's a case to be made on both ends. I agree with you, Jason. They're generating some degree of quality chances. They're not capitalizing. They're not counting as shots either. But it doesn't feel quite as one-sided as the shot clock also suggests. Now, I would say that if you're only going to get 2 shots over the final 20 minutes of regulation and into overtime, you're probably not putting yourself in a really good position because so often in overtime, it's you get it on net, it hits a leg, it bounces to a guy on the back door or into the slot, and a guy puts it in. You got to direct it toward the net a little bit more often. But I don't feel like Montreal's getting run out of the building either, even though the shot clock would suggest otherwise. Like it was, 38-13? It didn't feel like a 38-13 game last night on the shot clock. So, like I said coming into game 3, I think we talked about it, Jason, on the brunch. I've got a little bit more confidence in Carolina heading into game 3, but I didn't feel like Montreal was out of it either. And they were right there. If Suzuki shoots that in the net, we're having a totally different conversation. And so I'm not ready to write Montreal off yet at all, because while they have been very selective, they have found the ability to generate some quality chances. They just need to get them on net. And at least, in Suzuki's case, I think it had been 3 days since Freddie Anderson had been asked to make a stop. Force him to make a stop at least on that breakaway, and then maybe something, goes your way. So I still feel like Montreal is in this series.
What about Colorado? They're not officially out, but let's be honest, they're out. Is it injuries? Do you see massive change coming? I think it's overreaction to say massive change, but what do you think happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's the easy argument to make right away. Oh, well, you got to fire the coach because he's been there for 10 years and they've kind of choked, if you will, in the conference finals, and maybe it's time for a change. I think that's a little bit premature. I think you got to let the organization go through its audit once the season has come to an end, hear what the players have to say. Like, I'll be interested to hear how the players responded to the comment that Jared Bednar made the other night when he said that, it's up to Cale whether he plays or not. And, I thought you made a great point on my show the other day. I think you could easily take that the right way and say, like, just Cale's going to decide when he's ready. It's not that he's screwing off on us at all, but there's a lot of people who breathe with their jaws on the floor who might take that otherwise. And you probably shouldn't care what these people think, but it did generate, I think, some undue pressure on Makar to play. So I don't know. I look there. It might be a case of what Connor McDavid had to say in the first round, to paraphrase him, too hurt, maybe not too soon, but too hurt. When Makar is not himself, and he clearly is not, to the point where he had to miss 2 games. And I thought he was just okay the other night. McKinnon's clearly battling something, and now it's even worse with that shot off the knee. Marty Nakish hasn't made really an appearance. He made a good pass the other night to set up a goal, but outside of that, he has not commanded the play. So that's a huge problem. Their goaltending's been just okay, but quite honestly, I don't think they're expecting it to be really any better than just okay. I think they're looking for serviceable, and then to have the rest of their team dominate play, which they have not done. So I don't think you can really hang on the goaltending, because I don't think they're looking for Sergei Bobrovsky level goaltending in the playoffs. They're looking for serviceable. It's been serviceable-ish, but they haven't scored. And I think that might come down to injury to an extent. And I think you got to tip your hat to Vegas as well. They've done a really good job of making sure that Colorado can't use their speed through the neutral zone. And at the end of the day, Carter Hart is definitely out goaltended Scott Wedgwood to this point.
TR?
Davey, when I played in Fredericton, I remember the American Hockey League, people saying that we didn't have a big prospect pool. Now, meanwhile, we had Stefan Robidoux, Craig Conroy, Darcy Tucker, Craig Rive, like there was players down there. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody says the Leafs prospects are poison, and now here they are in the semis. Like, is there reason to have, to me, you don't make that unless you have good prospects. Is there a chance that we have some budding overachievers down there?
Yeah, I think it's possible. To an extent, they've been driven largely by more veteran players on that team right now. And while that's okay, it hasn't entirely been the young guys that have been delivering. Like Vinny Lettieri has been really good for this Marlies team. Logan Shaw has been really good. Now they're not guys that are probably going to be Leafs at any point, but what they are is they're really good AHL players. William Villeneuve is a guy that I don't think has gotten a long enough look. He's been really good. He got a very, if you will, a Demitas cup of coffee at the end of the season this year in Toronto. I don't know why they didn't call him up earlier. He's a guy that has shown an ability to move the puck at the AHL level. And what the Leafs need is guys that are capable of moving the puck. You're not asking him to be Cale Makar or Quinn Hughes, but could he be Mike Matheson, right? Mike Matheson moves the puck pretty well. He's carved out a really good role on this Montreal Canadiens blue line. He doesn't fly up and down the ice either, but he's just really efficient. Could William Villeneuve be that type of a guy? He's at the age now where I think he deserves a bit of a look. Like, he's 24 years of age, and you've invested a lot of time, energy, and resources into developing him to this point. So he's a guy that I would be interested in. Obviously, Easton Cowan, who had the winner the other night, he's going to be a good player, and he needs to be like an upper tier level player for the Leafs. Ryan Torberg, he's been effective as well. Also an interesting guy because he's coming to a point where contractually they're going to have to make a decision on where they're going to go with him moving forward, because he's no longer going to be waivers exempt, kind of like that Alex Steves situation from last year at this time. Mm-hmm. But he's a guy that went through injuries a lot earlier in his career, which kind of set back his development. He had a really good year this year. Again, he's 24 years of age, and he got a cup of coffee at the NHL level. And I think he showed that he might be a guy that can be a bottom six type of player. And I think that's where the Leafs need to get back to, finding their bottom six players, boys, is internally. Stop going out and paying guys outside the organization 4 years and $2.5 million. Find right? Like, because that I applaud the guy for getting that contract, but that's still a lot of money for the role you're asking him to play. Find guys who are able to play that role for $1 million that you've developed internally in your organization. So I guess to answer your question, Terry, there are no, to me, top six forwards outside of East Cowan, top pairing defenseman, but there might be a 3-4 defenseman in there. There might be some 6, 7, 8 forwards in there. Ben Danford's a guy that's gotten a look as well. He's really young, but he projects to be a Chris Tanev type. So yeah, there's some pieces there that I don't think it's all for naught, and I don't think the cupboard might not be as bare as some people are suggesting that it is.
Davey, as always, great to talk to you, buddy. Have yourself a lovely Tuesday. Enjoy the games tonight. And by next week, we're likely talking Stanley Cup final. And we'll be into June. So there'll be some other rumblings. The coaching vacancies, Vancouver, LA, Edmonton, and Toronto. It sounds like Vancouver's probably the closest to announcing their head coach. And I will say this one, don't sleep on Laviolette to Edmonton.
Ooh, well, I mean, if they're not going to allow Bruce Cassidy to speak to the Oilers, they got to hire somebody, right? And I think he's a similar type of coach, Jason, to Bruce. He's structured. He demands. He has a short shelf life. But like I made the case when New York hired Peter Laviolette, whatever it was, 5-6 years ago, I think Edmonton's, they're not we'll end on a music reference, paraphrase to an extent. They're not there for a long time, but they're hopefully here for a good time over the next 2 years or so, right? And I think Peter is a guy that's shown an ability to extract a lot out of a group that's right there very quickly, and I think that's exactly what Edmonton needs. So I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Awesome. We'll talk to you on the brunch on Sunday, Dave. Have a good one.
See you, fellas.
That's Dave A. McCarthy from Sirius XM. Quick break. We'll come back. Update. You got 5 questions. We'll update you on Kids, Sport, and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy, from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Tuesday afternoon, Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto Max, 15 million and 15 prizes of $100,000. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're up to 85 now, so we've got 15 left. Okay, and we'd love to get away before Friday. Come on, 15 listeners, $25 each a month, and we'll do it. It's for kids sports, get kids back playing in the game, and you make a donation. It's tax receipt included, of course, through Kids Sport, and you'll get kids playing. Our goal is to get to 100, and we're at 85. So good, but obviously we want to get to our goal. So we had a really good Monday. Let's keep it up. Like Monday, we had 83. We had 2 today, so a little bit slower. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Just text in your name. It's $25 a month or a one-time payment of $300, and it goes to Kids Sport, and you'll get updates and everything else in our giving gang throughout the year, kind of where the money's going, and you'll see that making a big difference in some kids' lives. So if you can afford $25 a month, you can help out some kids. Now, let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. We're right now at The Brick, 33% off sofas, love seats, recliners, and sectionals. You can also win one of the 4 Shaquille O'Neal home prizes as they debut the Shaqopedic line of furniture right now at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. If you're the Oilers management team, when is the absolute latest you would wait before hiring a new coach?
The latest I would wait to hire a coach if I'm the management, I don't know. I don't think you need to rush it. So I guess I'd just err on the side of letting the process play itself out. I mean, I don't know if you want a date. I hope it wouldn't go any longer than the end of the season. You need to prepare. But, I wouldn't rush into it.
Yeah, the absolute latest date. Ooh, man. I guess I'd wait to see if I could get an interview with Cassidy. But if I think Cassidy's my guaranteed 100% guy, I don't think there's one guy that's like, oh my God, it's so clearly obvious that he's infinitely better than Peter Laviolette or some of the other guys. I think they might like Cassidy, but I don't think it's like we can't talk to anybody else. But I would say probably June 25th.
All right. Question number 2. Typo in this one. But who are your top 3 candidates for the Conn Smythe power rankings right now?
Ooh, good question. Top 3, I would go, in no order, but the 3 guys, I would have Taylor Hall. I would have Mitch Marner and Pavel Dorofeev.
I will insert Jobish into that group and remove Hall.
All right. Question number 3, with the World Cup coming up, outside of men's hockey, let's say, what's your favorite international team sport to watch?
Ooh, for myself, the ones I played, it would be, soccer and baseball. I enjoy watching them. And, I can't even think of an outlier. I watch those quite a bit when they're playing. I guess if you want to include probably the women's female hockey team, I probably watch the most outside of all the sports I follow. After that, as far as a national team, every Olympics, heavy into it. Whenever the soccer teams, men's or women's, and definitely, I love the baseball classic. It still doesn't get a lot of love, but I do enjoy it.
I would probably have to say lately it's been the men's soccer team. Saw them here live. They've had some big games. Same time, they've had some pretty big failures. So I don't know, they still haven't reached, close to where they want to get to. So it kind of makes it intriguing to watch and see where they'll go. So I'll say the Canadian men's soccer team.
Question 4. Last night we saw the Knicks make it look easy against the Cavs, winning 4 straight. That's 11 in a row now. But we know it's going to be tough against the Spurs and the Thunder. So what do you think the Knicks' chances are in the NBA Finals against either of those 2 teams?
Well, they'll have they're okay chance. They're going to be the clear underdog, but, they're going to be rested for sure. And they come in winners of 11, and they've dominated teams. Now, I know that those teams aren't the Spurs and the Thunder, but it's not their fault, right? Like, any team that's come in front of them, they've just steamrolled them. So, like, what else can you do? 12-1 in the playoffs. Pretty damn good. So, I would give them like a 30% chance.
I wouldn't know like the percentage, but this is and I follow the NBA, a fair amount. Like, I know what's going on. I wouldn't consider myself a basketball expert, but all I'm hearing constantly is how unbelievable the West is and how terrible the East is. And I'm with you. Like, what else can they do? It's not their fault. Like, I don't know. I think maybe they're going to give whoever wins, likely OKC. I would think, yes, that they're going to give them way more pushback than people think. I understand the West being favored, but all the talk to me is outlandish. Geez, the Knicks are destroying teams. They're not just going to come out of the East. They're going to come out with, a rubber stamp on it. I don't know. I'm with you. 30% at least, I would say. Yeah, there you go. 30%.
Final question for you guys today. It is World Redhead Day. So in honor of that, give me your top 3 redheads of all time.
I would have to think about this one. I didn't get the questions. My top 3 redheads of all time. Oh, God. Jason, you go first. I'll have to think about it.
Okay. I would probably go number 3. I'm going to go a young Lindsay Lohan. Then I am going to go Julianne Moore. And number 1 is my wife. There you go.
Yeah, I really have to think about it. So you're saying sexy.
Well, that's for me. He didn't say
Oh,
whoever.
just top. I'll give you mine so you can think a little bit longer here. Like
Connor's going to go with the spicy tomato here for sure.
Flying tomato. I had to leave him off. Sean White. I included some friends, Cody and Jamie. You don't know if they're listening, but good buddies of mine, redheads. Got to give them a shout out here. Andrew Santino. I don't know if you have seen his work. Pretty funny comedian, actor, podcaster. Does some good stuff. And then I'll go with Sophie Turner, aka Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
Now, I didn't like her in the beginning, but she grew on me in the later seasons. So I'll throw her in there as well.
I'm sure I probably could come up with a better answer, but the top 3 people that I don't mind that are popping through my head that are redheads, Amy Adams, ticks all the boxes Jason was talking about. Then you got Conan O'Brien's a funny guy. Watched a lot of his shows over the years. Listened to his podcast. And I would say Ronald McDonald. There you go. I grew up with Ronald McDonald, spent a lot of time in McDonald's. He would have to be one of my favorites, whether I admitted it or not.
All right, that's fair. We have a lot of votes in for Anne Margaret. I get it. Hey, all right, everybody's going to have their own. It's totally fine.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Yeah, it's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. So if you're going just straight sports athletes, for redheads, Cons, who would you go with?
Bill Walton.
Oh.
The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. And the guy who played for the Raptors, Matt Bonner. Those are my top 3 athlete redheads.
I would go just because of his mustache, Lanny McDonald. Rafi Torres. Because he was the Tasmanian devil at times on the ice, and is entertaining player to watch. Obviously, crossed the line a few times in his career, but lots of other times was interesting. And it's hard to go against it. And I'll go just for pure entertainment. Sean White.
Was Roy Halladay? I mean, I guess you could say redhead, right?
That's a really good question.
I would say so. Yeah.
I think so.
He was on the fence. If he qualifies, there you go. He would definitely be one of my favorite athletes.
Yeah, he's redheaded. Yeah, they deemed him a redhead. So there you go.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's someone else's opinion, I guess. Okay, there you go.
All right, not bad. TR, have yourself a good week. The Habs, what's this series going to be at? Do you think? Do they come back in this, or is this Carolina's to win now?
I do. Well, you know what? I got no reason to say they won't. They've done it all year. I'm cheering for them. I'd like to be surrounded with positive vibes, and I'd like my, even though I'm biased, this is kind of 50-50, and I'd be silly not to go on the side that I'm rooting for because it changes everything up. So yes, Carolina have a great team. Montreal are also experts at bouncing back. They have been all year. It's part of their MO, so I'm going with the Habs.
All right. TR, we will chat with you in a few days. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
There you go. That's Terry Ryan joins us Tuesday, Thursday here on Sports.
It's time for 5 questions
Coming up,
on the Jason Gregor Show.
Strickland's going to join us because the rumor mill is starting to slowly churn a little bit. We'll get through all that. We got some stats of the day for you. A few doozies coming up after Connor Halley. And a sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, you name it, they got it. Any color, any style. Over 15,000 to choose from. GoAuto.ca, your place to get a vehicle.
The Sports 1440 update.
Stanley Cup playoffs rolling on tonight. Golden Knights and Avs from Vegas. Puck drop just after 7. The Knights going to wrap this one up with a win at the World Championship across the pond. Canada victorious over Czechia 3-2. U.S. knocked off Austria 4-1. With that, the two nations will meet in the quarterfinal at the Memorial Cup. Chicoutimi taking on the Rangers. Puck drop just after 6. NBA playoffs tonight. Thunder and Spurs from OKC at 6:30. That series tied at 2 games apiece. And in the majors, the Blue Jays are in action, taking on the Marlins once again. First pitch, 5:07. We'll have that one for you here on our AM feed immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Elsewhere, Orioles get the Rays, Tigers, and Angels. The Twins head to Chicago to take on the White Sox. Padres host the Phillies. Mariners in Sacramento taking on the Athletics, and you got the Dodgers and the Rockies. And at the French Open, Felix Auger-Aliassime seemed victorious earlier today over Daniel Altmaier in 5 sets. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Andy Strickland as we look at the St. Louis Blues, and we'll get to the stats of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
From the locker room to your radio, Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader. Real talk, big personalities, and your texts. It's interactive. It's fun. It's where Edmonton talks sports. Sports 1440.
This is you.
Hi.
And your cornhole team needs money.
Yeah, we do need money.
Plus, you've tried every fundraiser under the sun.
No kidding, and no one's buying my Cuban salted chocolate.
Scrap the chocolate and fundraise for your team, club, or charity at On the Rocks. Here's the deal. We'll create custom tickets for your event, which includes no cover, no line, and beverage before 10 p.m. Then you sell your tickets and keep all the profits.
That sounds easy.
It is. Fundraisers at On the Rocks. Book, party, cash. OnTheRocksYEG.com.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits.
Sports 1440, Sports
everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style.
That is
Mr. Dirk.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest.
Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A
Gregor
bright
Show presented by
sun-charged
Play
burst
Alberta.
of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Summer is calling. Is your vehicle ready for the road trip? Get ready for the season at Nisku Ford with offers that turn up the heat. Right now, you choose how you save. Finance your new vehicle with rates as low as 0%. Or choose massive cash rebates as high as $12,500. Whether you're hauling the boat or packing up the family, we have the Ford you need for your summer adventures. Start your summer upgrade at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Puck Drop Special at Papa John's. A large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PuckDrop at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. How are you? Tuesday afternoon. Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks as always for listening. Watching the show. It's brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight Lotto Max 15 mil and 15 prizes of $100,000. Also, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show daily specials. While you're at it today, of course, we got a little Jays action for you. And we're kind of on Jimenez. He's due for an RBI. So the odds boost there. What about a McKinnon-Dorofeev goal parlay? And if you're into the NBA, some OKC Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play. So, like the line was 29.5 for him. Right? It's a good under. He's only been over that once in the series. And the series is 2-2. Now, he can go off at any point, but I don't mind it. We got a lot of texts coming into our question about redheads. When talking about athletes, many people text in on the Sedines. Hey, guys, Mike Commodore, funniest redhead. Oh, that's a good one. For other redheads, we had Christina Hendricks from Mad Men fame. So good one. Tina Louise. Got a lot of votes in for and I like this one, Joe. I'm an older guy. Lucille Ball. Yeah, she was definitely a little bit before my time. Seen videos of her. Funny lady. No question. Many of you, including the gents, Connor and Donovan in the studio, were talking about Jessica Chastain in the what was the poker movie?
Molly's Game.
Molly's Game. Yeah. So Rita Hayworth. Oh, that's a good one. Lots of Ryan Rashog, big fan of Robert Redford. Oh man, him and that's going right up there with Sean Brown's favorite movie of all time. Brokeback Mountain. Oh God, I still laugh about that. Okay. He didn't even watch the movie. That was the best part about it. He was trying to. It wasn't his favorite movie all time. It was a Heath Ledger movie.
Yeah.
He throws out.
He's got so many good movies.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, and even his wife's like, "What are you talking about? You haven't even seen it." Oh, it's so funny. Oh, awesome stuff. So, hey, The Natural. It's good. It's a good movie. I don't think it was great though. Like Strutty loves it. We'll get him on tomorrow. Like I know he'd probably come through his car window right now. If he's like, I didn't mind. I didn't think it was that great. I watched it a few times. I'm like, it's good, but like as far like baseball movies, man, we could have a long debate over the greatest baseball movie of all time. Because man, are there a lot? Like I find baseball movies, that sport has the best sports movies combined because there's so many. Right? Field of Dreams obviously is great. Bull Durham, Major League. Like there's lots that are really good. 8 Men Out was classic. Moneyball, right? The Natural's good movie. The Sandlot, if we're talking baseball movies, classic movie.
Angels in the Outfield, Rookie of the Year, Little Big League.
Well, yeah, that's your era for sure. Yeah. What about The Rookie?
The Rookie,
the Jim Morris, like the true story. Dennis Quaid was in that one. Guy makes the bigs at the age of 35. Like unreal story. I love that story. The 42 obviously was great about Jackie Robinson. There's a lot. Now 61, that was the Billy Crystal's ode to Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle, right? The Chase for 61. For Love of the Game, I love that movie with Kevin Costner, man. Right? When he's like, engage the mechanisms every time. I just love that movie. That was awesome. So it's kind of like a sports movie, a little bit of a rom-com. Well, not comedy, but a little bit of a romantic sports movie in that one. But just like the whole premise of the show, it's a perfect game. Everybody's kind of being there. And just some of the lines in the movie where his catcher comes out, hey, today we are the best team in baseball behind you. Right? Just some little things. If you're a sports guy, I love that movie. So, but yeah, we could have a really good healthy discussion debate over if you could only pick one, because there's so many. That's what make it difficult.
There is so many.
Yes.
Field of Dreams, I don't think we mentioned.
Yeah.
League of Their Own, Hardball.
Yeah.
Can't watch Hardball again, though. Not after what happened to G Baby.
Yeah, that was a tough one, right? With Keanu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oof, yeah. Like there is a lot, man. So, hey guys, anybody mention Emma Stone? Yes, you did. There you go. Hey guys, what about Ginger from Gilligan's Island? Well, that's an old school show, eh? Oof, yeah, it's a lot of good options out there. What are redheads? Is it like 2% of the population, something like that. I'd have to look that up, Cons. Get the right statistical number. While you're looking that up, we're going to get to our stats of the day today, brought to you by All-Star Construction. And we were talking about some numbers. As I mentioned, had lunch with the guys from All-Star today and was blown away by the moose hunt. And first of all, 10 days. Didn't expect that one, which is, hey, I guess if you're going to go on a moose hunt, you got to be dedicated. You're going to want to go for 10 days up in the Yukon or Northwest Territories. And it's a little bit of cake if you want to do it. But also, if you wanted to specialize in underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, that's what they do at All-Star Construction. So our stats of the day. First of all, did you see it? The first no-hitter in baseball was the combined no-hitter last night. 9-0 over the Rangers. It's the Astros. Emea started it, and then Okert, and then Alimber Santa comes in his MLB debut, and he contributes to the no-hitter. So it's their first in 2 years since 2024 in MLB. And how about this? Since 2019, it was Houston's 7th no-hitter. No other team has 3 or more in that time. So more than 3. So Houston and the no-hitters, they've been bad. And hey, I get it, cheaters, but they're not always cheating all the time. We mentioned it earlier on the show, but the New York Knicks have won 11 consecutive games, which is one shy of the longest streak by the Warriors and the Spurs. The difference is no team in NBA history, regular season or playoffs, has ever had an 11-game stretch this dominant. They're plus 262 in 11 games. Like, look at some of the scores. Like last night, 130-93. So they win by 37. They've won by 30, 144-114. They've won by 39, 137-98. They won by 29. They won by 51, 140-89 over the Hawks. They have averaged victories of 24 points. That's their average point differential in their 11-game winning streak. Like, I don't care that it's the Hawks, the 76ers, and the Cavaliers. They're all playoff teams, and you're destroying them. It's pretty impressive. To the NHL, Canadians, yikes. They are now 2-5 at home in the playoffs, which is not great. They have tied seven other teams for the most losses in the playoffs in their first 7 home games. They're 2-5. And the other teams that have done it, the 94 Bruins, the 97 Sabres, the 99 Avalanche, 2003 Wild, the 2023 Maple Leafs, they did it in 6 games, so technically they are the worst. Then the Bruins and the Sabres of 24 and the Sabres this year. So it's not a great list. And funny enough, so 23, 24, 26, and 26, 4 of those have come in the last 3 seasons. So they are struggling on home ice right now. Also, if you're a believer in numbers, if you're telling me there's a chance, teams who trail in the NHL 3-0 in a playoff series, best of 7. They are 4-213. So there's a chance. Not a great chance. Maple Leafs of 42, 75 Islanders. Then you had the 2010 Flyers, 2014 Kings. So can Colorado do it? It's possible, but not likely. How about this? Novak Djokovic, who rallied for a first-round victory the other day, has now appeared in 82 men's Grand Slam tournaments. That sets a new record, breaking a tie that he held with Roger Federer and Feliciano Lopez, who had each been in 81. So 82 Grand Slams, Cons. They got 2 more this year in tennis, so he could get to 84 this year. Does he get to 90? Like, does he have 2? Like, does he play these 2 and then 2 more years? That's longevity, man. That is longevity for Novak Djokovic. Over 2 decades of playing at Grand Slam tournaments. You got to be healthy enough. You got to qualify. Obviously, he's good enough, but that's pretty good. Now, if you like speed, you might want to check out the Diamondbacks' Corbin Carroll. He had 2 triples on Sunday. He now has 8 on the season, which is double anybody else. Now, he debuted in MLB in 2022. And he's just one of 4 active players who have 50 career triples. So this is only his 4th year. Oh, sorry, 5th. 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 5th year. And he's already got over 50 triples. Andrew McCutchen, who debuted in 2009, Mike Trout, who debuted in 2011, and Starling Marte, who debuted in 2012. They're the other guys who have over 50 in their career. This guy's already got 50. Like, he is a triple machine. He has more triples than 21 other MLB teams. He also has an on-base percentage of .974, which leads the NL and ranks 3rd in baseball. That guy, he's kind of much watched for entertainment. Triples, I just find, are exciting. Right? Like, the guy, you're turning on the jets, you're wheeling. And this guy is quick. And anytime he's hitting one of the gap, he's thinking triple all day long. So kind of fun to watch. I know the Diamondbacks aren't on the top of our watching list, unless you're a Diamondback fan. But Corbin Carroll, like, I just wonder, I got to look at what's the MLB record for most triples in a career. I wonder, I got to look that up quickly here to try to find it.
Sam Crawford.
309. Okay, well, that's Corbin Carroll's got a little bit ways to go there. Now, Sam Crawford, when the hell was he playing? Yeah, he was so he's playing in like the early 1900s. So a little bit different of a game back then, right? But still, diamonds were huge. Ty Cobb's at 295, Honus Wagner 252, Jake Beckley at 244. Roger Connor, 233. I'm trying to think of like anybody recently here. God, I got to, there's not a lot of guys here.
Roberto Clement would be like the most recent, I think. And he finished in 1972.
Yeah. Stan Musial was a little bit, before. Yeah, he was about a decade before him. So, yeah, that's not a lot of guys hitting triples now. So he's already at 50, Corbin Carroll. And so this is his fifth year. He could get into the hundreds, sure, which would still only put him in top 100. But look at the names. How about this name? Like, I'll say this. The names we have now, I have to say, like, I don't know what happened in my generation. Like, Jason became suddenly like the most popular name. It's like, it's a fine name, but it's not like Cupid Childs or Stuffy McInnes, right? Duff Cooley. You just had some better names back then, right? Always, Clyde, sick name. Dots Miller. How about Chicken Wolf? Oh man, some Turkey Stern. Oh man, these are just the names of the leaders in triples all time. Some Archie Vaughn. Oh my God, Buck Freeman. I do like the name. That's my nickname. My brother and I call each other Buck. But don't even get into it. It's funny, but but some of these names, man, are just classic. I like it. Kip Selback, Kiki. Well, there's Kiki now. That one's kind of come back into play. Pie Trainer, Elmer. Could be a rough name at times, but I don't mind it. But a few classics, man. Honus. Like, I wonder how many other Honuses there are. Like Honus Wagner, right? Isn't his baseball card like the most expensive baseball card of all time? So, pretty sick name. There you go. Corbin. We might have to give him a better nickname or something. That was the other thing. They just had better nicknames. So, there you go. I like it. Quick break.
Do you want the redhead number?
The what?
The total percentage.
Oh,
yeah. In the world, it's 1 to 2%.
Okay, I said okay.
In Scotland, it's approximately 6 to 13. Ireland 10, and England 4.
So Ireland's got the most.
Of
their like they have the most of their population.
I think so, because Scotland, it's 7% different, 6 to 13%, whereas Ireland is right at 10. So.
Well, I mean, it's between. How is it between 6 to 13? What the hell kind of gap is that?
Yeah, that's why I don't think we can trust it. So
yeah, that's
I
pretty
award
rangy.
it to Ireland.
It's like, how old are you? Well, I'm between 41 and 48. Oh, well, what age are you? You pick it out. Like, come on. It's not me. No one ever says that. What percentage is it? 6 to 13. Come on. Weak. Not your part, Cons. Who's ever calculated it?
I'm just reading. I'm not taking it personal.
I guess they're going on a year-by-year basis or something. On average, some years it's higher or lower. I don't know. So, but yeah, overall in the world, around 2%, right? 1 to 2%.
Yes, that's it.
I guess we could say 1.5. So if you're a redhead, you're unique. Good for you. Quick break. We'll return. Andy Strickland. We got some rumors to discuss. And one team's got a lot of names. How many of them are actually going to get dealt? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Hot coffee, hotter takes, and the sports stories that matter. Check out Kevin Carrions weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for two. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and this is the time of the year most RV stores wish their lot was full. At the new RV stores, product is trickling in, mostly just for taking orders. But having an RV on order doesn't mean much when the weather's great for camping today.
No Bull has hundreds of quality used RVs on the lot now. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Walk into No Bull RV today and you could be in the great outdoors next weekend. No waiting, no hoping it'll be here by summer, just the perfect used trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel, or toy hauler that you need.
And every RV at No Bull is one of a kind.
Every family is one of a kind too, Bob. Think we can't find the perfect one for you? Take a look around. At No Bull, you'll save thousands compared to the cost of a new RV. You can build your summer plan on hope, or you can know for sure. And ask about our Camp Ready service plan when you're here to make this the best summer yet.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca. Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Rent it, run it, get it serviced. Japa Equipment Rentals has have you covered from their shop to your job site. Alberta's construction pros have counted on Japa for rentals and service since 1972. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Tuesday afternoon. How are you? Get to playalberta.ca. Lotto Max tonight. $15 million and 15 prizes of $100,000 each. Lotto Max, playalberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. Playalberta.ca. Hey, it's time to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Commercial building owners who install solar can qualify for up to 30% federal tax credit, plus accelerated capital cost allowance benefits. Learn more. I'll walk you through it. actionelectrical.net. As the rumor mill has been swirling for a few months because at the trade deadline, they tried to trade Colton Parayko. They had a deal, and he said, no, thank you. I'm not interested in being moved now. Now, will that change in the summer when he would have more time? Who knows? A guy who's tapped into it from the Cam and Strick podcast, Andy Strickland, joins us once again. Andy, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Jason, great to be with you as always. How are you?
I'm good. So let's start with Parayko. And, hey, he has the right. He said, you know what? I'm not interested in being traded then. It's a lot hard to get traded during the season, right? Disrupt everything. Do you think they revisit that? Do you think now that he knows the team wants to trade him, do you think he's more open to it in the summer?
Well, just by experience, I mean, players who go through this historically, you know, once you go to them a second time or a third time, I think it becomes more and more difficult for the player to say no, especially once you know that the team wants to move you. Now, he said no to Buffalo, and there was a couple of reasons for that. I mean, first off, he was completely blindsided by it. I don't think he ever anticipated the team coming to him and asking him to waive his no-trade clause. So, I mean, just complete shock for Colton Parayko. He wasn't ready for it. I think the more that he talked to people around him, including his teammates, understanding that he had full control, he's got a full no-trade clause, why not take a deep breath and really, truly analyze the rest of the league and try to find out what the best fit would be for you. Now, Buffalo would be a great fit. You look at their defense, you look at their overall team and how they did in the playoffs. You know, that would certainly be a team that, you know, obviously is up and coming and no slight against the Buffalo Sabres. But, you know, Parayko still has several years left on his deal. He makes $6.5 million. He's got a great contract. But listen, I don't think he was ready to waive it at the time. I think he wanted to take a deep breath and really go through a process if he's going to do that. Now, if they were to ask him again, listen, I get the sense that he still doesn't want to go anywhere. I don't think Colton Parayko wants to leave the St. Louis Blues. If you look at it, he's just maybe a game or two from passing Barrett Jackman for the most games ever by a Blues defenseman. And maybe 100 games, maybe 200 games away from, you know, passing Bernie Federko for the most games ever by a Blues player. So, I mean, this guy obviously has some things I think he would love to accomplish here in a Blues uniform. He truly loves it here. He's won a Stanley Cup here. So if you're going to pry him out of St. Louis, it would have to be a special situation. And Edmonton could certainly be one of those, you know, when you consider the fact that he's from that area. But again, he loves St. Louis. And I will say this, guys, you know, you look at Edmonton and you look at star players, the idea of playing with Colton or, you know, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, you know, that would be enticing for any player, but it's not enticing if you have several years left in your deal and you have a sense that they're not going to be there a year or two down the road, because then you're in Edmonton and you're not playing with Connor McDavid. So, you know, I think his decision and what he does moving forward certainly could influence and impact how free agents view Edmonton moving forward as well.
Yeah. You know, it is interesting. I fully believe that McDavid, you know, they'll play 2 years here in Edmonton. And you know what? If they decide after 2 years not to resign, then that's when you trade his rights. And I know a lot of people think, oh, you won't get much for him. I disagree, because the reason Vegas didn't have to give up much for Mitch Marner was because Alex Pietrangelo's career was over and they had $8.8 million just sitting there that all of a sudden went to LTIR space. If you don't have that, you're going to have to remove some salary off your roster to make a new guy fit. That's just the reality of the salary cap, right? And I don't see McDavid agreeing to a trade to a team that isn't a contender, right? I think I'd be surprised by that. And most contenders are near the top of the salary cap scale. So I think they got 2 years and then they'll see how it goes from there. St. Louis has been, you know, obviously they try to trade Parayko. You know, Binnington's name's been out there. We know lots of teams are looking for goaltenders, and Binnington's proven he's a big game goaltender. Joel Holfer's younger. Their goaltending was really good coming out of the Olympic break. And so what do you make of Binnington? I know he doesn't want to play in Canada, so I'm not saying for Edmonton. I'm just saying overall. Do you think he gets moved with his final year of his deal?
And listen, I think he would play in Canada. I think the one team that he would love to play for would be Toronto, just considering the fact that he's from there. But I don't know if the timing is right for him to go play for Toronto because, you know, I think most people will look at the Maple Leafs right now and say they're probably not a contending team for a Stanley Cup. And so therefore, you know, would it make sense for him to go play in Toronto now? Probably not. But listen, I don't get the sense that he wants to go anywhere. Now, it doesn't mean that he won't. How many contending teams truly need goaltending? I mean, listen, there are some. Edmonton obviously would certainly fall in that category, and there's other, teams as well. But look at how many teams that, aren't in the playoffs right now or didn't even make the playoffs that have, the world's best goaltenders. When you look at the Islanders with Sorokin and the Rangers with Shesterkin, and, you look at other elite goaltenders and you see Swayman with Boston losing in the first round. You see Vasilevsky, losing in the first round. So, even the teams that have, and there's only a handful of teams that truly what you're going to get year in and year out going into a regular season, that you can kind of have an idea of how your goaltending is going to perform. And the rest of the group is just kind of throw it up there and you hope guys get hot, as in the case of Scott Wedgwood in Colorado, who obviously has been a great story this year. So, so he's not just going to go anywhere, and he's got a limited no trade clause. But I think the organization, when you consider that he is an iconic figure here in St. Louis, is going to respect him as such. If I were him, I would stay patient. I'd be in no hurry to leave. I'd wait to see how things play out during the course of the season, and see which teams truly are contenders and who would need a goaltender around the trade deadline and go finish the season and hope to have a good playoff run and then go take advantage of it in the summer. And in my conversations with Binnington, I don't think he's in a hurry to move. I don't think the situation with Joel Hofer scares him or he feels like he's not going to play. If he's here at minimum, this guy's going to play 1 out of every 3 games. And I think he has so much confidence in his own ability that he feels like he'll be able to play his way into playing more games than that. So that's kind of a wait and see situation with Jordan Binnington, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, Jason, to see him still here when training camp comes around and when the regular season starts. Plus, the Blues don't have a third goalie in the organization right now that they can turn to and bring up here right now as a backup. They've tried signing backups in the past in free agency, and it just really hasn't worked out, guys like Thomas Greiss and some of those guys. So I know they know what they have and they like what they have in Jordan Binnington. So close with the coaches. He's got a great relationship with Joel Hofer as well. So like I said, it wouldn't shock me if he was still here when the season rolls around.
Okay. Andy Strickland joins us, Blues reporter, talking St. Louis Blues offseason, some trade rumors. Now, Thomas and Kyrou, I keep seeing their names come up, Andy. And when I look at St. Louis, I'm like, they went out and got younger in Broberg and Holloway a few summers ago, and that's obviously panned out well for them. Like, why do the Kyrou, why do these rumors keep coming up? Are they just bogus, or do you think there's something to them?
Well, I think there's something to it. Now, in the case of Robert Thomas, I'll start there because the team never approached him about a trade. So there was heavy rumors, and I'm sure there were some conversations going on. And I think that rocked him too. I look at Kyrou and I look at Thomas, and they're two different situations. Because in the case of Kyrou, he had a real down year. He had 3 consecutive 30-goal seasons prior to this past year, and he just really had some trouble throughout the course of the year, finding his game offensively, finding chemistry with forwards that he could play with. The puck wasn't going in. He was a healthy scratch in Buffalo. He got benched on a couple of occasions. I don't want to call him the scapegoat here in St. Louis, but it does seem like that he takes a lot more heat than a lot of other players who are on the current roster do, and who have taken heat in the past. For whatever reason, he's a lightning rod player. So would he welcome a change of scenery? I think that's the question with Kyrou, and why I think if you're going to put a percentages, of either of those two getting moved, I think it's higher for Kyrou than it is for Robert Thomas. The question for Robert Thomas is, does he want to be moved now? And is he asking for a trade? And is he looking to move on from St. Louis? Because if he is, then I think that opens the door for the organization to truly explore moving him. If he doesn't want to go, I don't know why you would move him when you consider that it's so difficult to replace those guys. You're not going to replace a Robert Thomas. You can be sure that if they were to move him, that the asking price would be so high, Jason, that what you're getting in return probably wouldn't set you back. It should certainly help you. You should be getting good players on your roster in return. I don't know how many teams could put together a package to get a Robert Thomas. I had Darren Drager on my show last week. He talked about how things really heated up between St. Louis and Anaheim. I don't know if Thomas was involved in those talks or not, but it just never materialized. And so maybe those are, conversations that pick back up when you get to the draft between, the Blues and Buffalo and the Blues and a team like Anaheim, for example. And St. Louis is trying to move up in the draft too. So, San Jose would certainly kind of come into mind as well. Can they package a couple of first-round picks along with a significant roster piece in an effort to move up the draft? So those are all things to pay attention to. I don't think they're looking to unload Robert Thomas. Kyrou, we'll see how that plays out.
Well, you look at the Blues, and right now the Blues got what? The 11th pick, the 15th pick, and the 31st pick. So 3 first-round selections and an opportunity maybe to make do some damage on draft day and leading up to it. And so you look at if they were trading a Kyrou or a Thomas, I'm assuming you're looking to get a forward back, or would they be looking to get a defenseman?
Well, I think they need help up the middle. That's why, trading Robert Thomas doesn't really solve that issue.
Agreed.
I think they want to add centers.
Yeah.
You've got Dvorsky, you've got some other pieces, but I think they would love to add a piece up the middle if they can. Certainly draft one if they can. Draft a defenseman. Maybe go out and get a D-man in free agency or via trade. And the Blues have a lot of prospects too. It's not just the guys that you see playing on the team right now who have graduated to the National Hockey League. They have a team that just went to the 3rd round in the American Hockey League playoffs. They have more kids that are on the way. And again, like you said, 3 first-round picks heading into the draft this year. So I think there's a lot of flexibility for Doug Armstrong, who is going to run the draft. Alexander Steen doesn't officially take over as general manager until July 1st. So he's going to make a lot of decisions, obviously, in terms of what the roster might look like. But these are all things that are going to be in play. Listen, trading is just a part of it. And that's why, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Blues get active in the trade market, because I think that's their best route or the best path to take to truly improve the roster right now. It's tough for them to sign free agents here in St. Louis, and, especially with the fact that not too many good players, or as many as we've seen in the past, truly reach unrestricted free agency anyway. So the good players typically re-sign with their teams. It's tough to get guys here to sign even when they are available. So the best route, obviously, sometimes is just to go ahead and make trades, something they've been good at doing in the past. And they've been good at drafting as well. They've got a lot of good players deep in the draft, Parayko being one of them, Kyrou a 2nd-round pick, Hofer being in the 4th-round pick. They've had a lot of good players that they've gotten in the draft, but they've also added some pieces via trade, guys like Cam Fowler, Logan Mailloux, some other players that they've been able to get via trade.
Andy Strickland joins us here, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Looking overall at the Blues roster, and last season, disappointment for them, obviously, when how the season went. And you look at some players like up front. Obviously, you have Dylan Holloway. They hope that he stays healthy. Jake Neighbors would probably want to bounce back. What's your expectations for Snuggerud and Dvorsky and what they can bring moving forward?
Well, Snuggerud's already shown that he can score over 20 goals in this league, and he missed some time with injury. And even down the stretch, his wrist was still bothering him a little bit, and I think that's probably the reason why he didn't go play in the World Championships. I think you can safely assume that was the case. So this guy at some point is going to push 30. It's how quickly can he do that? Can he do that as soon as next year? If the Blues can get their power play going and he can be a threat on the power play and put in some power play goals, then, he could get there as soon as next year. But I think at minimum, your expectations for Jimmy Snuggerud next season would be to score 25 goals. If he can get over that, then I think you're right in the wheelhouse of what your expectations would be. But he's got so much potential, Jason. You just know he's going to career it at some point throughout the course of his career. And what does that look like? Is that 35 or is that 40 goals? Could he get to 40 at some point in his career? Not saying he'll get there next year, but I think he could certainly get to 25 and even push for 30. I mean, a guy like Jake Neighbors pushed for 30 a few years back. He got 27, and he missed the last 5-6 games of the regular season when he had an injury. So, and Dvorsky, now you just want to see him play with a little more confidence. Use his shot. I think that's his biggest weapon is his ability to shoot the puck, and I don't think he did that enough last year. I think there was a lot of concerns about, pace of play. I think his skating is getting better, and his hockey sense certainly allows him to make up maybe for the lack of pace that he plays with. Such a good passer, and he had a lot of success in the Olympics playing for Slovakia. So if he can flirt with 20 goals next season, get somewhere between 15 and 20, maybe even push himself ahead of 20, get to 50 points as a guy who is playing in your middle six and getting significant ice time and playing with good players, then I think he's certainly moving in the right direction.
So for fun, if you had to rank those four, Kyrou, Thomas, Parayko, and Binnington, in order of 1 being most likely to be traded, 4 being least likely, how would you rank them?
Well, I would say Kyrou would be your most likely.
Okay.
I'm going to put Parayko ahead of Binnington, and I'm not saying they're going to trade Parayko. I just feel strong that they're not going to move Binnington. The Robert Thomas one is interesting. Like I said, I don't get the sense. I think that calmed down. He had such a good second half of the season, or post-Olympics. A year ago, prior to that, he led the NHL in scoring post-Four Nations. I don't know what it is. They take these breaks, and then he comes back and he just completely tears it up. And after Brayden Schenn got traded, he just looked to be so comfortable and just kind of took the team under his wing a little bit, and he just put the team on his back. He was unbelievable down the stretch for the Blues. So I would not move him. I can't get into the brain of what Alexander Steen is thinking. But, if he's looking to move him, then that means there's a really, really sweet package coming the other way. This is not a situation where you're just trying to unload a contract or move on from a player. We're talking about a significant, big-time hockey trade that would really benefit St. Louis in the end. So is that possible? Sure, anything is possible. Anybody could get traded. But when you consider he's the Blues' best player, I'm going to put him as the least likely to get moved, only because he is their best player. But I'm not going to sit here and say that he won't be moved. You could have all 4 of those players get moved, Jason. Who knows what's going to happen here in St. Louis?
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated. I've heard a lot about him, and to me, when you trade a player, and they did trade him, he just didn't agree to the trade. It tells me that maybe they're ready to move on, and if you're Colton Parayko, now it's your decision. Hey, I like St. Louis, but do I want to be somewhere where maybe they don't want me? And not that it means you're a bad player, but I agree with you on that one off the top, Annie. That usually that's kind of the start of the end for a player, where you say, hey, you know what? They don't want me. I'll move somewhere else. Obviously, he has the no trade clause, so he can pick where he wants to go. And it would be interesting to see.
Well, I think that's how it should play out, right? If you have a full no trade, which Parayko has, and Thomas has that, by the way, too. So does Kyrou.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a limited no trade with Jordan Binnington. But with Parayko, I think it gets to a point where I think for a player like that, where you say, hey, this is where I will waive to go. So if you want to move me, go get a deal done with this specific team, because I'll go there. Outside of that, it's not even worth bringing a trade to him if you know that he's going to say no. But I go back to years ago. I remember the Blues asked Dougie Weight to waive his no trade to go to Anaheim, and he said no. And then Larry Plow and John Davidson, they called him up to the office the next day or 2 days later or whatever it was, and they basically forced his hand, and he accepted the trade. And sometimes teams will do that. I mean, they'll say, hey, you're not going to play power play. You're not going to get as much ice time. You're not going to be in a top 6 role. I'm not going to do that to a guy like Robert Thomas. He's in the prime of his career, which is why it just doesn't make any sense to trade your number 1 center. But, in the case of Colton Parayko, you just never know. And I'm not going to, question the integrity of the St. Louis Blues that they would do something like that. But I've seen it in the past, is my point, that when a team goes to a player and they say no, if they want to move them, they'll find a way to move them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100% agree with you on that one for sure. Andy, great stuff as always, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, appreciate it.
There
Thanks,
you go.
Jason. Take care.
You bet. That's Andy Strickland from St. Louis and the Blues. Some interesting names out there. So he thinks Kyrie is the most likely. I think the fact that they traded Parayko once puts him right near the top of that list. Moving Thomas makes no sense. Teams are dying. There's a shortage of legit top 6 centers in the NHL, top 2 line centers, and he's one. He's a top 2 center for sure. He's probably number 1 center, maybe low end number 1 center, but still he's not. So trading him, why? I guess unless you're going to get someone else's number 1 center, it's the only reason to do it. But the other ones, I could see an argument as to why you'd make it. Binnington, probably not. But if St. Louis is out of it at the deadline, then I could see it. Quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson with you on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. An out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl. Only in theaters June 26th.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Time is
Northgate Country.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee.
Time is ticking. Let's put
in Edmonton.
Sports 1440
debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18+ only.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth WE football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$450 on a Tuesday afternoon. Of course, Canada, if you missed it. Canada, USA Thursday morning quarterfinal action. As Canada finished first in their pool, USA finished fourth in theirs. Finland will play Czechia, Switzerland versus Sweden, and Norway, Latvia. Norwegians finished second in their pool, so they'll take on Latvia, who was third in Pool A. So Canada, US, another little matchup, little rivalry, be fairly intense, I would think. Some few Canadians who lost at the Olympics, few Americans who won at the Olympics on both of those squads. So it's always fun anytime you get a Canada, USA rivalry, and that game goes at what, I think 8:20 our time, Cons? Is that right?
Believe so, yeah.
Because I think it's like 4:20 local, so 8-hour time difference. So there you have it. So you might want to tune in for that one on Thursday morning. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Now, hey, we got 14 spots left, okay? We want to get to 100 for kids, so that's 86. Want to get to 100 this week for kids sport. We had a great day yesterday. We had 83 yesterday. So we just need 14 more today. It's $25 a month for a year. Or one payment of $300. You get a tax receipt for it, and you get kids who otherwise wouldn't be able to play in a sport, soccer, basketball, hockey. Some get multiple sports. It's a huge life-changing moment for these kids. So if you got an extra $25 a month, kicking around, you can put on your visa, you get a tax receipt for it. It'll be great. Kids Sport Week, all week long, and our goal is to get to 100. We had a great Monday, so let's try to finish it off today. All right, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Any businesses out there, any individuals, $25 a month. It's not very much to make a massive impact and difference for some kids. So we need 14 more of those before Friday, but obviously the sooner the better would be great. Now, we got a lot of texts to get to. Hey guys, would a Nurse for a Parayko deal make sense for the Oilers? Well, I don't think Darnell Nurse is waiving to go to St. Louis. So let's just start there. I'd be surprised if that was a place that he waives to go to. But let's pretend for fun that he did. Parayko for Nurse deal. There's Edmonton probably has to add more because A, Parayko is an Olympian. B, he makes 2.75 less. They each have 4 years remaining on their deal. So that part's the same. Now, Nurse's cap hits higher, but the money owed to him isn't 9.25. It's $8 million this year, and then it goes down to 7.2 in each of the following 3 years. But the interesting caveat is Nurse has a $6 million bonus now on July 1st for each of the last 4 seasons. So let's say the Oilers pay the bonus on July 1st if they want to. Then you trade him. And he's got 4 years left on his deal, which says it's like $37 million in cap space. But in actual dollars owed, it would only be, doing the math, 21.6 plus to be $23.6 million in money owed over the 4 years. So it's a pretty big difference, right? So there's always little factors into it. He'll have to agree to a trade. I'm sure the Oilers wouldn't want to. I don't think they want to pay the $6 million bonus and then just have him gone. That wouldn't be ideal, but might be part of it. So we'll see. Hey, Gregor, Nurse will waive if he wants to see the ice for his contract from Drew. Not really. Do you think if he doesn't waive Drew, that the Oilers are going to say, we're going to bench you now? Not going to happen. They gave him a no trade clause. You can say, hey, man, do you want to waive it? We got teams interested. Here you go. That's what they negotiate. All right, Colton Parayko said no to St. Louis. I didn't see them bench him. So I don't really envision that being a real key. Hey, guys, do you think the Oilers could give Montembeault a new home? I know he had a rough year, but he's on Team Canada, 4 Nations. Jack from Minnesota. I guess. Right? He makes $3 million. It's not going to cost you a lot because they got 2 other young goalies right now in Foster and Dobush. Obviously, he's emerged. He's clearly their number one. I'd have to look at his contract status. Let me look it up quickly. How many years he has left at 3.1 mil? I think he has just 1. So, that makes it a little bit easier, depending on what the return is. Like, it might be nothing. Remember, the Oilers got Ingram for nothing. Right? They just got him for waivers. Now, I don't think Montembeault would be the same. I think you'd probably have to give up something, but I'm not sure you're going to have to give up a massive amount, to be honest. And like, he's lost his starting job there. People look at it and say they don't really want to play him, so they probably just want to get rid of him. Like, I could see Montembeault being moved on day 2 of the draft, right? 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, something like that. We see lots of proven NHL veterans who get moved at that point. So, see where it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Lots more coming in on the rumor line. Hey, Greg, is there a surprise trade or a player that you would be surprised that the Oilers moved this summer? Well, obviously, so I'm taking out the Captain Obvious ones of the big 2. Sure. Well, obviously guys like Hyman, anybody, Nugent Hopkins, that would be, a surprise. But you look at, guys who have no movement clauses, right? Like there's Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Frederick. Who else? Nurse, Jake Wallman. I don't think Matthias Ekholm does. Yes, he has on his deal, which kind of makes sense. Bouchard does on the last few years of his deal because then he's in the free agent era. Tristan Jarry has, I think, a limited no trade clause for him. So I guess the most surprising player to me would be a Podkolzin. If somehow they traded him. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be the obvious. But who do I think could be traded? Wow. I know people like there's no chance, but I'll just say this. Trent Frederick getting moved, I don't think is like a 0% chance of happening. I think they're going to try to rehabilitate and everything like that, but the term isn't great. I get it, but $3.85 million is not like horrible if a team thinks, oh, this guy can be a 15-goal scorer for us. Be physical. Done it a few times in his career. Could he do it again? It's possible. He wouldn't be the first guy who gets a change of scenery and plays better. Us guys get a change of scenery and don't play well, i.e. Trent Frederick. So we'll see. I guess that would probably be the one. Hey, Greg, you hearing anything on the coaching front? No, it's fairly quiet. I know there's a lot of people think it's Cassidy or bust. I don't think it's Cassidy or bust. I think Peter Laviolette would get some strong consideration for the coaching job for the Oilers. I know that they're not in any massive rush here. There has been interviews. I'm pretty confident that and certain that Laviolette's being interviewed by the Edmonton Oilers, and that'll just come down to, like if Vegas wins and now they sweep, let's say they win tonight and they sweep, and you could have a week off. Would they say, okay, we got a week off, we'll do it? I don't know if they're going to change their stance based on their history. They probably wouldn't, but you never know. And so maybe they wait and see. And if the Stanley Cup final starts, well, then maybe Edmonton says, well, we don't want to wait then because now we might get to the 20th or who knows. So we don't want to lose our guy. So maybe they'll do somewhere else. So we'll see. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. On 97th Street. Stop in. They got the new Autoplex. Looking for vehicles? How about right now? The wait is over. 0% financing on heavy-duty trucks. They also have 0% finance on all half-tons right now at northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. Golden Knights Avs from Vegas. Puck drop just after 7. Golden Knights lead that series 3-0. Over in Europe for the World Championships. Canada knocked out Czechia 3-2. The Americans over Austria 4-1 with that. They'll meet in Thursday's final just after 8 a.m. quarterfinal action. That is the Memorial Cup 2-0 Kitchener Rangers taking on Chicoutimi, who's a 1-1. Pucked up in that one just after 6 o'clock. In the association, Thunder and Spurs from OKC. Tip-off 6:30. That series tied 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball Blue Jays in action. Just about to get going, taking on the Marlins. We'll have that one for you in progress on our AM feed following the Jason Gregor Show. A couple games underway. Nationals up on the Guardians 4-0. The Pirates lead the Cubbies 5-0 in the first. And Red Sox have a 2-0 lead over the Braves in the second. Later on tonight, Yankees, Royals, Brewers, Cards, Phillies in San Diego, Athletics hosting the Mariners, and the Rockies take on the Dodgers. Some news from the NFL. LA Chargers and safety Derwin James agreeing to a new contract extension, 3 years, $75.6 million, $57.5 of which is guaranteed. It makes him the highest paid safety in the league for the second time in his career. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll get to Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way. Calgary rules.
How are
But
you?
when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you don't win
Noon,
games
of course,
with Cat. Only available in Leduc.
Northgate.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Roxilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the 1s and 2s, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Just West Brab and 118th.
A long weekend pit stop without a Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid can be hectic. But when you get a Prius plug-in hybrid during Red Tag days, you can take advantage of an estimated combined range of up to 962 kilometers and get there with fewer stops. Take advantage of Red Tag days on now. Receive a $5,000 lease incentive, plus get up to a $2,500 federal rebate for eligible customers on select 2026 Prius plug-in hybrid models. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, a lovely Tuesday afternoon. You made it through another day. Of course, maybe you're making your way home. You will be catching the Jays, which, of course, you can listen to right at the conclusion of our show as the Jays are having another bullpen start today for them. You have NHL action starting in about an hour and 10 minutes. The Colorado Avalanche are in must-win situation for the rest of this series. Got to win 4 straight, become only the 5th team in NHL history to do that. We'll see if they can do it. Odds are pretty low that they will. Check it out at playalberta.ca. What it would be now to pick the Av. Well, yeah, you're getting they're a big long shot right now. So put a few shekels down. You never know. If you dream big, dream big. Check it out, playalberta.ca. Time now for the spec. Oh, also NBA. You should be watching the Thunder and the Spurs. I don't even care if you're an NBA fan. That game, maybe just turn it on in the fourth quarter. If you're not a huge fan, just turn it on in the fourth quarter. Should be a good game. Let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And they are hiring right now for top men, pipe layers, operators, and more. Go to gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Mr. Spector, good afternoon. How you doing?
Beautiful day. Doing great. How you doing, man?
Oof, I'm good. Yeah, it is another nice day outside, which is fantastic. Hey, did you paint those blue chairs behind you? Is that part of your painting job this year?
No. Those came blue.
Oh, okay.
I just put them together. Wasn't very hard.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, they look okay. So they're new. Because I was saying, man, those look pretty. Because any outdoor chairs, after a while, they start to fade. We always got to paint them, and those ones look a little. They look good. Great. So
2 tricks: cover them when you're not here, and buy them from Costco.
Oh, why? Costco? They're like non-fading.
No, but you know what they are, and I haven't tried this, but I'm 99% sure. Like if you took a saw to one of the arms and cut an arm off, it would be blue all the way through. I think it's blue to the core. I'm not chopping one up to check.
Yeah, well, why don't you just try it and let us know?
There's a couple nicks in it, and they stay blue. They don't turn like brown. They're not painted. Is my point.
Okay.
So maybe that's the key. Hey, what do I know, man? I'm just my wife buys chairs, they get delivered, and I put them together. That's all I got for you, buddy.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Montreal Canadiens down 2-1 overtime. Man, Nick Suzuki, God, he had it. Like you set it up exactly. They gave up another breakaway. That's what Carolina does. They give up breakaways, and Montreal just didn't bury it.
Yeah, there's certain points in a series that have to go your way if you're going to win. Like, you talked before the series started about Carolina's Achilles heel. They give up the most breakaways, and that means that when you're Montreal and you don't get a lot of 5-on-5 scoring chances here, 12 shots, 13 shots, when you get a breakaway, oh boy, like you better have a high rate of success, right? That's a point in the series that you need to exploit. There's not many holes in that Carolina team, Jay, right? They're a good team, man, and they don't give you much. And Freddie Anderson's playing awfully well. So yes, I would say to you that was a point in the game. If that goes in, it's a 2-1 series. You feel great, even though you got 25 shots on goal the last 2 games, both went in overtime. As it stands, you're down 2-1, and you're going, man, like, how are we going to score 3 goals against this team when we get 13 shots a night?
Yeah. Well, the one thing they might want to look up is Freddie Anderson on breakaways is much more susceptible on dekes than he is on shots. So maybe try to mix in a deke every now and then. Like, you look at Demidov's breakaway. What did he do? Deke. So just saying that might help if you get a chance. Like when you got that much time, fake a shot and go in and deke. Like I know that they're getting these scouting reports. I would assume they are anyway.
They are. I mean, listen, I always draw a bit of a line. Like you've played the game at whatever level. I'm not telling Nick Suzuki what to do in a breakaway. If he sees shot and takes a shot, he's Nick Suzuki. Who the hell am I to tell him what to do? Sure, the odds are the odds. I get it. He might have saw something there, right? He might have saw a spot and just missed it. So, I remember.
He missed it, all right.
He missed it by a bunch. I remember getting into it with, I think it was Jason Bourne?
Justin Bourne.
Justin Bourne, because he was instructing McDavid what to do in a breakaway. And I didn't even know him back then. This was years ago. And I remember tweeting like, who the hell are you to tell McDavid what to do in a breakaway? And it ended up being funny. But I just feel that way. I'm not telling Nick Suzuki what to do in a breakaway. Sorry. He knows what he's doing.
Well, you think so, but lots of times the odds are the odds on certain guys. And hey, if you score when you hit the net, when you miss the net, like it's just, hey, I can tell you right now is what does Gretzky say? 100% of the shot. Hey, if you don't take the shot, you can't score, and you got to hit the net. Like there's no goals that are scored when you miss the net, unless there's someone standing beside the net and you're gonna deflect it in on them. So, I didn't think Montreal, like they're right in the game again, right? Like they were actually up 2-1 until Taylor Hall tied it. And so, they're right in the game. They don't have a lot of quality chances. Or sorry, they're getting more quality chances than they are shots. Like their quality chances about 50% of their shots. And I'm sure they'd like more. But I watched that game closely, Spec. I think it's a little bit of a strategy by them. They're just not wasting shots because there's opportunities for them to come down the wing and shoot from the outside, and they're just not doing it. And I don't think that's a bad strategy because I think sometimes, teams just fire pucks on net for the sake of firing pucks on net. And it's kind of a wasted shot.
Well, the team that I always fall back to is, that Kings team that the Oilers beat, like let's say 4-3 2 years ago. They were what we call a volume shooting team.
Yeah.
And they came down the wing and wasted that shot, hoping for a rebound. And to me, 80% of those shots are a turnover because the goalie doesn't give you a rebound and you relinquish possession of the puck with a shot that's very highly, highly unlikely ever to go in. So I don't agree with that hockey either. But that doesn't mean that 12 shots a game is enough. If you're going to play, I would say to you, the Oilers are that team. The Oilers are a lower shots team. They don't waste a lot of shots. You look at Bouchard and the point. I always say if I had his shot, I'd be blasting 6 a game. He doesn't. He only takes it when it's a good shot. And the Oilers manage more scoring opportunities and more shots. At some point, Jason, you got to fire a puck on net when there's traffic and hope for a deflection. The winning goal last night deflected off a glove, but Aho was right in Dobas's face. You can't just sit there like the Russians in 72 and say, I'm only going to shoot when I got 3/4 of an open net here. They're not that good. I don't think any NHL team is that good.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Mark Spector, Rogers Sports fan, joins us. We talked to St. Louis. Like, I don't see a Darnell Nurse for Colton Parayko trade really making sense because I don't think Darnell Nurse is going to waive to go to St. Louis because I don't think they're a team that's close. Well, definitely not closer than Edmonton, right? And I don't think their future is that bright. People talk about San Jose, like maybe I guess he'd go there. I'm still not 100% sold he would. But how serious, if any, do you think Edmonton should be if Colton Parayko, who was traded, Spec, at the trade deadline, his name's out there, how serious would you be looking at going after him?
Well, I would say this to you that, to me, it's just imperative that if you think you're trading Nurse, you better, you can't trade him away, a 22-minute defenseman, a penalty killer, an important guy on your blue line, and then say, oh, don't worry, we'll find the guy later on that can fill that hole. So I'm saying to you, if Bowman decides it's time for a Nurse trade and Nurse is okay with it, you can't trade him for 2 forwards. You just lost Kulak, and look at the hole he left in your top 6. We hated the fact that he was gone, and you noticed it every night. So in my books, that's a trade that works. At least I can look you in the eye, Jason, and say, okay, you traded Nurse for better or worse, but you're bringing in a second pairing defenseman who can play 22 minutes and fill that spot. I know Parayko's a righty, correct?
Yes.
Preko's a righty. Whatever, righty, lefty, I don't care about that. But at least I'm bringing in a guy who fills Nurse's shoes. I hate the thought guys are saying trade him for, Graf or trade him for a young couple of forwards. Yeah, who's going to be on your defense? Right?
Hey.
Who's going to defend?
Yeah.
If we haven't learned by now in this town that defending properly is the prerequisite to any kind of success, if we haven't figured that out yet, trading Nurse for a couple of young forwards is the most asinine thing I could ever think of.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one for sure. Mark Spector joins us. Peter Laviolette, Spec, I've said it from day one. I think Peter Laviolette's a very strong candidate for the coaching vacancy. We know that Bruce Cassidy right now is not really a candidate until you can talk to him. So of all the others, Laviolette would be number one on my list. Where do you have?
Well, right up there, man. Right up there. Had success. Been around long enough to look your superstars in the eye and say, I know what I'm doing. We're doing it my way. Listen to me. A definite track record of working around the league and having good teams, generally speaking. So sure, why not? I kind of I don't think that, for all this group's been through, Jason, for all this, the core's been around. They've all been to the cup a couple of times there. They're a veteran group. I think there's a number of guys could coach this team, to be honest. I don't think that you're not coming in here and absolutely changing the strategy and playing a completely different style or something, right? You're not completely changing the way the Oilers play the sport. Mm-hmm. You're making some tweaks. You're going to look for some certain defensive buy-in from certain players. And, you're doing a few little things, but Laviolette could do that. My understanding is Trotz isn't coming out of the front office. He's not interested in coaching. Cassidy could do that. Most of those veteran coaches could do that. I don't think that there's only one guy out there. I think there's a few guys out there would suffice. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Laviolette for sure. Yeah, Berube maybe. I just think Laviolette might be a better fit. He's had lots of success with different teams. He plays a little bit more up tempo of a game. And the other thing is, Berube, you look at even when St. Louis won, they won, and their special teams, neither one was very good, right? And so they're kind of the oddity when they actually won on being a team that didn't have a dominant power play or didn't have a dominant penalty kill. And now Toronto's penalty kill this year, I think, was 81%, if I'm not mistaken. So decent, right?
Yep,
but
decent.
I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to Berube. I don't think it'd be awful by any stretch of the imagination. I like, if I have to pick, I'm taking Laviolette first.
Yeah, and to me, things like the power play, the five guys.
Power play, I don't worry about the power play very much.
These guys, I'm not saying they don't need a coach, but they really just need an advisor. The power play, these guys are pretty good at it. They've been the best in the league again this year. They've been the best in the league for 5 years. I'm not worried about the power play. They probably wouldn't need a coach, frankly, but it's some small elements of this team. And I'll tell you one thing about this team, Jay, after the regular season they had last year, after what we heard in those exit interviews, if Bowman can show these guys that he can provide them with a little bit of the right help and make a couple of the right moves here, I think you're going to get a very, very driven team next year. And I think this leadership group is very clear that they blew it last season. And the laissez-faire through the regular season was absolutely, they couldn't recover from it. It wasn't good enough. And they all know it. And they were all at fault for it, right to the top.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that you're going to get such a motivated group of players, that Oilers group. Everyone knows the McDavid window's maybe coming to a close here. So motivating this team will not be an issue. Steering them, they need a guy to steer them a little bit. I think there's a number of coaches could do that.
Awesome. Spec, have yourself a great day. We'll chat with you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson with you. We'll get to Tater in the 2-minute warning. We got some Jays updates for you. Lots of texts coming in on the orders, and we still need a few more people who want to help out for Kids Sport. Okay, it's $25 a month for a year. It's $300, one lump sum, or 12 times 25. You do the math, you get a tax receipt for it. And we need 14 more. We're at 86. We need 14 more kids. So let's get a few of those right now. 833-401-1440. Just text your name, say you're in for one, and I'll hook you up with Kid Sport, and they'll make your payments. We'll return the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for two. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-heated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well. Restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
You don't just need property services. You need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
To the guy who said, I'll marinate the chicken, then forgot. Hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. We've got you covered with a variety of freshly prepared kebabs, ranging from chicken to beef and pork. They even come pre-marinated, so all that's left is pretending you made it yourself. And they're on sale this week. For more great summer deals, check our flyer at safeway.ca. Variety may vary by store. See flyer for details.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, wow, great hair transplant. I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
525, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Donovan Paulson with you. And my goodness, like the Blue Jays' inability to either move runners into scoring position or get hits with runners in scoring position is absolutely horrific this year. Like they just got no ability to play small ball. Can't hit behind the runner, can't advance the runner, they start, hey, runners first and second, no out. Don't even get a guy to third base. Yesterday, runners first and third, no out, can't get a guy in. Like, they're awful. Absolutely awful. And it's not like it's getting better. It's not like, oh, it's been a little fun. This is kind of, to me, this is who the Jays are at this point. This is who they are. So not good at all. Hey, Gregor, someone's also be smoked. Bednar should be skidded just based on the Avs power play. To have that firepower and be that putrid all year was a disaster. Well, here's the thing. Now, the head coach oversees everything, and I understand it, and there's no doubt that it didn't hurt them. So because their power play wasn't good in the regular season, kind of doesn't matter. Their power play is 21% in the playoffs, right, which is sixth best. And teams, Edmonton, Dallas, Anaheim, the three best teams, they're all out. So, Colorado, Vegas, and Montreal are 25, 24, 21%. Teams remaining. And then obviously Carolina's way down at 11%. But if you look at over the last few years, Colorado's power play has been really good. So I don't know if I would get rid of the coach just due to one kind of off year for their power play, because that's really what it was. Because the previous 3 years, I don't think you can get more consistent. Their power play was 24.5%, 24.5%, 24.8%. This past year, and I honestly would put this past year more on the players. Now, they lost Mikko Rantanen, so that probably played a part in it. They just wouldn't shoot. Right? Kadri came and suddenly it got better. So it's sometimes like power play to me is on your skill, guys. You can drop whatever you want. If they don't want to shoot the puck, there's not much you can do. And it's not like as a coach, I guess you could take them off, but we'll kind of see where that goes. But I'm not. It is not. Bednar, if he became available, would be scooped up in literally. Some teams would fire their coach to get Jared Bednar. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happened, but I don't. I think it would be a bad decision for Colorado to fire their coach. Makar gets hurt, McKinnon, hey, Nichushkin's not doing much. I know everyone's like, yeah, but look at Tortorella. Okay, sure. But lots of other coaches get fired and the team doesn't get any better. I don't know if I'm going to blame Bednar, but guess what? If he did get fired, there'd be teams very quick to want to, because he's shown an ability to play his superstar players, knows how to connect with superstar players, plays other guys. He's a pretty good coach. Let's get to the 2-minute warning. Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, born with cerebral palsy. Cam's in a wheelchair. He's never let him slow him down. If he can do it, you can do it. It's his motto. Well, not really, but we made that one up. We'd like to bug Tater about that stuff. But Cam's always wanted to be in radio. Now, through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
Time is ticking. Let's put 120 seconds on the clock and talk about a heavy crown. Canada's team. What earns that title? Is it championships, deep-rooted history, or just the sheer ability to make us forget about a brutal February freeze for 3 periods? Look around the sports landscape. You have the Blue Jays going back-to-back in the early 90s. You have the 2019 Raptors uniting an entire country overnight. You even have Saskatchewan Roughrider fans, a group so fiercely loyal they will happily tailgate in a blizzard. But let's talk hockey. Let's look at the Montreal Canadiens. The Bell Center isn't just an arena, it's a cathedral. The energy inside could power the entire province. Sure, they have 24 Stanley Cup banners hanging from the rafters. But these Habs aren't just living in the past. They are young, scrappy, and building a bright future. Are the Canadiens Canada's hockey team right now? That question sparks a national civil war. Toronto Maple Leafs fans would rather cheer for skating squirrels than back the Habs. Imagine the CN Tower lighting up in red and white. The Edmonton Oilers boast Connor McDavid moving like he has a video game cheat code. Canada's team isn't about one city. It isn't about one logo stitched on a sweater. It is about the rare moments that pull us all together. It is Joe Carter touching all 4 bases. It is the Raptors hoisting a championship trophy. It is every kid playing shinny on a frozen prairie pond, and every fan screaming at their television from coast to coast. Who is Canada's team? It is all of us. Every single time we cheer, hope, and dream together. 2-minute warning. Gregor, Benny's dad, and oh my goodness gracious, Donnie P. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Yeah, I know it gets brought up every year, and basically because Canada's been there a lot. I don't think there's such a thing as Canada's team. Fans might be like, oh, you know what, I root for this team a little bit more, but no, the truth of the matter is, rarely you're going to get everybody behind one team if it's not like, I don't expect Toronto fans cheer for Montreal. I don't expect Calgary fans cheer for Edmonton. I don't expect Edmonton fans cheer for Vancouver, etc. So I think some people are like, oh, you know what, I don't mind this team. Hey, I got to pick someone to cheer for. And so they do. I think a lot of times it's for players, right? I've seen a lot of people like, hey, I'm hoping Brett Kulak wins. Some are like, hey, I'm hoping Taylor Hall wins. So that's kind of where it is. I don't think we'll ever, Canada's team could maybe happen in baseball because there's only one. But the minute you're in a league that has multiple Canadian teams, like no one in the States ever is like, oh, let's root for USA's team. Right. So I think at some point we need to retire the Canada's team for hockey. It's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You can't convince a fan to cheer for somebody they don't want to. And I think the competition and the competitiveness of fans are like, I'm not cheering for another Canadian team because I only want my team to win. And I'm totally okay with it. I understand it. I don't think they necessarily cheer against some teams. Well, Oilers fans will probably cheer against Flames. And I get it, as they should. So see where it goes. But people get all upset. Why aren't you cheering like Montreal fans? Cheer for our team. Like, what? Why? That'd be like telling you, oh, Toronto's in, you got to cheer for them. They'd be like, I don't think so. So you can't force anyone to cheer for a team. If they do, great. Others do. I don't have an issue with it, but I'd be surprised if we're ever going to have a real. Now, Canada's team of soccer, a little bit different because it's literally Team Canada, right? At the Olympics. So those teams, yes, everybody will root for them for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, that's what happened when the roster crashes back to earth and career minor leaguers and 200 hitters aren't playing way above their heads like last year's fluke run from Horngate. Well, I think missing out on a guy who was like a leader in hits and Bo Bichette probably hurt your team a little bit. But you've got lots of guys who just aren't hitting at all. I know they've had some injuries, right? Hey, not having Kirk, that's a big loss. I can't deny that, right? Like you take out your number one catcher, and Valenzuela's been okay for a young guy, but he's not Alondra Kerr. Just is. And, George Springer, who's not a career 200 hitter, he's not close to the player he was last year. Vladdy Guerrero, not close to the player he was last year. I'm not too worried about, like, Barger hasn't really even played. What's his name just got recalled, and what did he go 3 for 4 in his first game back? So I don't think that Lucas is the reason why they're not playing well. He's been out, so I think injuries play a little bit of factor, but doesn't matter to me. When other guys are at the plate, like hit the damn ball behind the runner sometime. Just, I don't know, try to play smart ball. Last year they would get bunts and they would move runners, and this year they're just not doing any of it. It's kind of frustrating to watch because I don't think their execution is very good. So Hey, Gregor, do you know what the Oilers' power play was the last few months of this season as well as the playoffs? It worries me. You're worrying for nothing, because I can tell you that the Oilers' power play in the playoffs this year was, first of all, they were the best in the regular season at 30%. In the playoffs, they were 28.6%. And if you want to go even to the regular season and see what they were for the final few months, so what are we gonna do? Like, coming out of the Olympic break, the Oilers' power play was 28.6%. They were 30% on the season, so down 1.4. Third best power play coming out of the Olympic break. So you're worrying about nothing. That's actually a concern. It is. It's not the power play is not until the Oilers' power play is out of the top 10 for a whole year. I wouldn't even break. Like, they'll go 5 or 6 games at some point and not do anything. Sure, but until their power play is long-standing bad, that is wasted time to worry. There are so many other actual problems on the Oilers. Well, not many, but concerns about, hey, can they defend? Can they penalty kill? Can they get some 5-on-5 scoring a little bit more? Not a ton, just a little bit more. The bottom part of their lineup. Those fair questions. Power play, not a concern by any stretch of the imagination. We'll take a quick break, come back, wrap things up. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. The con man just came in, so we're down to 13. So we need 13 more before Friday. I'd like to get it today or tomorrow for kids. Or get kids in the game, 833-401-1440. It's $25 a month. For most of you, you're not even going to miss it. You're not even going to miss the $25, and it'll help a kid get playing sports, and you'll feel good about it every time you look at your Visa bill, or a one-time payment of $300, and you get tax receipt with either one. We'll come back, wrap things up on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Shake off winter and roll into spring. It's time to turn the season with Jiffy Lube. Until May 31st, visit any participating Jiffy Lube for a Pennzoil full synthetic oil change, and you could win some incredible prizes, like the Grand Prize Spring Kit featuring 2 Yeti mugs, wiper blades with install, gift cards, and more. You could even roll away with one of Jiffy Lube's Keeping You Moving mini prizes. Turn the season with Jiffy Lube and win. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Shohei was a 20 home run hitter his first 2 seasons in the league.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, just as we talked about it, a home run. Ernie Clement makes it 1-0 for the Jays. There you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Got a question for Connor Halley coming in. We'll get to that momentarily. Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Coming up tonight, a pivotal Game 5, the Spurs and the Thunder. Winner will go up 3-2 in the series and have a chance to clinch on Thursday night. Meanwhile, the Knicks have clinched their first berth in the championship since 1999. And they will face either, and we know that the NBA series is locked in. It's going to start on June 3rd, next Wednesday. So depending now that they could play at least game 6, which would be Thursday. If they play game Saturday or 7 on Saturday, it's really only 3 days off in between. So that's not too long of a break. The NHL, I think, is scheduled to start on the 4th. If I'm pretty certain, they're going to play the Thursday and then the Saturday. Now they could start on the 2nd if they wanted, a little bit quicker, depending on, if these 2 series end in like 4 or 5, I could see something like that happening. If Vegas wins tonight, Carolina, well, they would play Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, you could start Tuesday if you finish Friday. I don't think that would be crazy. 3 days off in between, but they might wait till the Thursday. They seem to do it. So we'll see what happens. Let's get to the question cons. Are you ready for this? Here you go. Do you think the Bengals, what do you think of the Bengals upgrades this offseason? I think they might take the division from Burrow to Chase.
Burrow to Chase, Bengals fan. I don't necessarily mind what the Bengals did this offseason. Added a little bit more help on the defensive line. With Mafe, they bring over from Seattle, obviously a Super Bowl winner. Jonathan Allen was a casualty of the cap in Minnesota, so I kind of like that move. I like Kyle Duggar as well, bringing him in as a kind of an experienced guy. Jasir Taylor, former Charger, can help out on special teams a little bit, but I wouldn't expect too much from him. I think for the Bengals, you're going to start to depend on some of the younger guys on that defensive line. And then the draft, like, can Shamar Stewart find his game? Obviously, he was taken in the first round last year. Only had 4.5 sacks his whole collegiate career, held out for a long time. It just was a really bad situation. If he can take a step forward and you drafted him based on that potential, could be someone. Cassius Howell is a guy I really like that they selected in the second round this year. Miles Murphy, first round pick a couple years ago. I think defensively it's going to be a better team. They lost Trey Hendrickson, but obviously cleared a lot of cap space with letting him go. It's all about health for the Cincinnati Bengals. If they can stay healthy, Joe Burrow, we know what he can do. I think Chase Brown has steadily improved as the running back position, and the wideouts that they have are just outstanding. So, yeah, I think it's all about health for this team. You never really know, though. That division is just kind of wild. The Browns, we think, will not be good. The quarterback play is going to be tough. The Ravens, I think, will always be a threat, but a new head coach in Jesse Minter, so you never really know for sure. The same can be said about the Pittsburgh Steelers and bringing back Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know if I'm quite ready to lock them in, but I think it'll be close, like within a game or two, and it might as well be the Bengals. Why not?
Yeah. Hey, Greg, did you happen to see the CFL players' power rankings? What did you make of them? Yeah, well, they're anonymous players who voted, and they were asked to vote on the teams 1 through 9, and they had Saskatchewan 1, Montreal 2. So the 2 teams that met in the Grey Cup last year. Then they had Hamilton and BC, the 2 teams that were in the East and West final, respectively. Then Calgary and Winnipeg, who were the other playoff teams. And then Ottawa, Edmonton, and Toronto. Where, like, it kind of showed me what I don't think the players know anything about this year's team. So they just said, well, let's kind of go based on last year. So, yeah, I'm not huge surprise there. Toronto's roster isn't great. So Edmonton, guess what? Edmonton could maybe surprise a lot of teams because according to the rankings, they're ranked 8th. And I can understand that they're in a show me position right now as a team that hasn't made the playoffs forever and hasn't had a winning record in a long time. That's they obviously need to be better there. There's no question. But I don't put too much stock into it because a lot of the players don't know a lot of the other players on the new teams, right? But like Edmonton, I'll say that I would be stunned. And unless the Elks have a real big run of injuries, I'll be surprised if they don't make the playoffs. Like their offensive line is so, I don't even know how much better I can say it is. Like to try to find a fair, look at where their offensive line is, Cons. They're quicker. They're more agile. They're better pass blockers. I think they're going to give their quarterback more time. They can run block. They're way meaner on the left side. Like they got 2 jerks there, and I say that in a good way. So, and I just think if your O-line's better, your team should be better. Now, how much better? Could they win 10? Like if they win 10 games, that's an improvement of 3 wins. It's a pretty big jump. I think that'd be a really good year for the Elks. Anything above that is like a massive improvement for me.
It is funny when you talk about the anonymous player poll, and I think a lot of times fans might have maybe too high of expectations about what players, how much they know about around the league, especially at this point of the season. Like they know the big names, but they don't know some of the acquisitions that are brought in. Heck, sometimes players are like, who do we play next? Like they're so aloof to this sometimes. Yeah, I would agree with you. Like 10 wins, I think would be outstanding. I mean, they could have came close last year. There was drops in the end zone in key situations, games they blew. And I think keeping them together, learning from those mistakes, I'd like to think that those things won't happen again. So when you're in those tightly contested games, you find a way to pull it out at the end. That's the toughest thing. That's the difference between, the good and great teams. They find a way to win football games rather than find ways to give it away. So, heck, if you're setting the bar at 8.5, 9, I'd probably take the over. I think they can get to double-digit wins this year. And I totally agree with what you said about the offensive line. And I was waiting to jump in and say it, but you said it. The nastiness, that's a part that I think is going to be contagious for this team. And you get that swagger. You start to convert on those 3rd and shorts. The run game gets going. We know Rankin can bust those big runs. And times it's been almost like where, he's had to cut one way, then go back the other way. But I think that attitude will get contagious. The receivers start to get into it. They'll be blocking downfield. I think that's going to be a fun element to see from this team. And just the little things like that. If player goes down, I think you'll see the offensive lineman running over, help the guys up. Little things like that.
Well, and hey, there's pressure on the organization. Make no mistake. They need to take a step forward. Like you can't just keep, hoping that your team's going to improve. You have to improve at some point. And so I think there's definitely big expectations on the organization this year. And I think they understand that. I think they're well aware of it. And we'll see, kind of how they do. But it's you don't want to see a team, especially in any league, but be bad for this long. Right? Like you got to figure it out. But guess what? They really had no one to blame but themselves. Right? And not this current regime, but the previous regimes were a debacle. Right? Like ever since Ed Hervey left, all you got to do is go track the wins by the organization. And it's a continual massive decrease. Right? They haven't come close. You look at his 4 years, and then after, and keep in mind, the year after, that's still the majority of the team that he built. And then you look at Brock Sutherland and what he did to the organization, it was awful. Right? Like, and honestly, the board is just as responsible because they kept hiring. They were the ones making the decisions, and it was awful. Like really, it was a combination of the board and then the managers that they brought in, the presidents they brought in, that did not work, right? Did not work at all. So here's some news. Hearing that Tajon Buchanan is going to, his red card against Ireland was just a 1-game suspension. So he served that against Tunisia. So he'll be in the lineup if you're going to the game on June 1st. So that's good news. And it's good news for him. I think he's a guy, Connor, who's going to want to try to get going here and maybe be a difference maker when they get into the actual World Cup.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Obviously got the experience the last time around. And he's a guy who has scored some goals for this team, 58 appearances, 8 goals. So that's big and nice to get a win there. And especially for these 2 friendlies being on Canadian soil, I think a good opportunity for him get back in there and some fans to see one of the better players on this team. So good appeal for them.
There you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I think the Oilers need a coach who will hold everyone accountable, even 97 from Stanley. Yeah, I think that's fair. And it's not like, it has to be like the Connor McDavid isn't accountable. That's not what we're saying. But I think, to me, the one area where they need to be more accountable, Connor, is, hey, you got to manage the puck. You can't consistently just decide, you know what, we're always going to try the fancy play and give the puck away at the offensive zone blue line, the lead odd man rushes, and other things. Like, if you want the team to manage the puck in the defensive zone, now that doesn't mean you can't take some chances. It's going to happen every now and then. It just can't happen as frequent as it did last year, right? Like, I think it's a valid question when you look and say, well, how many points, how many times was Connor McDavid on the ice for? And then how many goals against was he on the ice for? Like, you need to be a better goal for, goal against player for your team when you're on the ice for that many goals for. And I know that not every goal against is his responsibility. No question, right? I agree with that. But you just, there needs to be a better ratio. Like, he was +7 at 5-on-5 this year. Nathan McKinnon was +58. Right? Like Marty Natchez, they were +50. Kucherov was +38. David was +7. And, he was on for 75. Now, McKinnon was on for 25 more goals for, sure. Right? But David was on for 68 goals against. And I'm just like, Kucherov's on for 48. No one looks at Kucherov and thinks, wow, this guy's like a dynamic defensive player. Right? Their team played better team defense. Again, it's not just one player, but when you're one of the leaders, the standard is higher for you, as it should be. And I would expect a better season by him. And I know everyone just wants to blame the coach. I think that could maybe be a little bit of a cop-out to just, just a coach. You know what? Hey, he's got to be better in that regard. I think they need to be better as far as limiting the goals against, for certain. On behalf of Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a lovely Tuesday evening. We've got Blue Jays baseball coming up after a Connor Halley Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, they're here for all your vehicle needs and more with their digital vehicle report. They don't just tell you what your car needs, they'll show you. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game 4 of the Western Conference Final goes in about an hour and 10 minutes from Sin City. Golden Knights and Avs. Of course, State's going to wrap this one up with a win, leading 3-0 at the World Championship today. Canada knocked off Czechia 3-2. With that, they'll meet the United States Thursday morning in quarterfinal action. Memorial Cup tonight, 1-1. Chicoutimi taking on the 2-0 Rangers of Kitchener. Puck drop about 10 minutes away in the association. You got Spurs and Thunder from OKC. Tip off 6:30. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball, Jays in action right now. They lead the Marlins 1-0 in the bottom of the third. Runners on second and third with 1 out. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the upcoming commercial break on the AM feed only. Elsewhere, Pirates lead the Cubs 6-1 in the fifth. Angels up on the Tigers 4-2. Braves trail the Orioles 3-1. The Nationals have a 4-1 lead over the Guardians in the sixth. Later on tonight, Dodgers, Rockies, Giants, Diamondbacks. The Mariners head to Sacramento to take on the Athletics. and the Phillies get the Dodgers. And from the NFL, Chargers and Derwin James agreeing to a 3-year contract extension with over $75 million, making him the highest paid safety in the league. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, Blue Jays baseball on the AM feed, who now leads 2-0 if you're streaming Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss it.